confused. I'm not sure how it happened. I'll never know, never know. The way that you look, it's like a book. Never know. You look like a book. Why would I fall in love with a book?
How did I fall in love with a girl that looks like you? How did I fall in love with a girl that looks like you? That looks like you. 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 That looks like you.
How did I fall for you? Look what you made me do. Hot, emo girl said she want me. I think I fell in love with an emo girl. I think I fell in love with a emo girl.
How did I fall in love with a girl that looks like you? How did I fall in love with a girl that looks like you? That looks like you. 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 That looks like you.
Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Kaboom, kabloo, kaboom. Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, I think about it every time I hit the hookah. Kaboom, kabloo, kaboom. I was in my room trying to teach my little sister. Then I heard a boom and it sounded like a missile. Who that is, what that was, oh that granny, she does. What the fuck they hit her with, what the hell they hit her with, a freaking Bazooka bitch. Every time I close my eyes, I'm drawing pictures of that blitz. Every time I close my eyes, I'm thinking about how they did you quick. Granny, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and forgive and forget. I don't know what you want me to do. You gon' slide, you gon' lose your whole crew. Homicide when I think about you. If you was our nigga, what would you do? Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, I think about it every time I hit the hookah. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom.
Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka.
Yeah, I think about it every time I hit the hookah.
Kaboom, kaboom,
My mic wasn't working. It wasn't working. Hi, everybody. Hi, Fox. Hi, Captain C. Hi, Ben. Hi, Mira. Hi, Rena. Hi, Janky Johnny. Hi, hello. It's been a minute since I was able to get on. I was gonna stream like 2 days ago, and my fucking PC fell onto the floor. Had to save. I saved up that brat for you guys for a while. What song was that earlier? that was Bazooka. Rest in peace, my granny. She got hit by a bazooka. You know what I mean? Is it okay? So far, nothing has happened. I mean, when I started it, I kept having some issues, but like very minor issues. Like, nothing like super crazy, but I just was like, fuck, dude. I really hope it didn't fuck up my computer to the point where it's like completely fucked. Like, it wouldn't turn on one of the monitors, and then it like forcefully shut off once. But since then it hasn't been the same. Since then it's been normal. My PC's been completely normal. Why'd you say it like that to me, Johnny? Fox didn't say hi to me, Marcus. Fox, you got to say hi to Janky Johnny. Hi, by the way, happy birthday, Janky Johnny. I don't know if you were there for the birthday stream, but I said happy birthday on your birthday. It still works though, right? Yeah, no, it works. It's working. Yeah, I got really worried because if it broke it, then I wouldn't be able to stream. Like I just wouldn't even be able to work on anything. I would be fucked. So thank goodness it didn't get fucked. But I never got a chance to watch the Stormy video. I was gonna watch it like 2 days ago. So we're finally gonna get back into this one. I have not slept, by the way. I have not slept. I did not go to sleep last night. That one, I saved that one up for you guys. Like, I didn't sleep once last night. My sleep has been so bad for the last few fucking weeks. I've had the worst sleep. It's actually fucked up.
If you're a hardcore Minecraft fan, then you probably already know that the
Oh my god, it's Stormy Skellington. I love Stormy Skeleton.
edition of Minecraft has had its source code leaked recently. This leak has allowed people to reverse engineer the code in order to play it on PC, as well as allowed people to see how Minecraft's internal code works, and view many cut features from its beta. While the community's efforts to reverse engineer Minecraft has mostly been successful, we're still talking about Minecraft here. A game
oh my goodness, it's Stormy!
Predators using it to interact with miners and simulate.
I love this clip. Hold on. Why is it... Hold on. Why is this stuff on the side? It's Aiden Underground. We got... Minecraft re-uploads Lion Maker Studios Hide and Seek? Stampy's house? No! Why is that on there? Simpsons Mysteries? Martin? You guys can't see it. It's to the right a little bit. Oh my goodness. That's funny as fuck. Are you good at Minecraft, Marcus? I mean, not really. I don't play Minecraft that much. I am currently playing it.
Game who's no stranger to predators using it to interact with miners. And similarly, there have been individuals who have used this source code leak as an opportunity to not only spread malicious spyware, but also groom miners. Today we're going to be
see dogs.
diving into one of Minecraft's most disturbing rabbit holes.
Are you just a Pokemon nerd? No, I mean, I like games. I play a lot of games. I'm a big game guy. Kogama? Gamma made this? What? What? Gamma made this? Gamma's a fucking pedophile? What the fuck? I've gotten into League. I play League. I used to play Apex a lot. And I was pretty decent at Apex. I played a lot of Rocket League. That was one game that I was actually good at. I wasn't the best on my esports team, but I was on an esports team and we were undefeated. So up until we had to stop doing it because of COVID, which, by the way, doesn't make any fucking sense because it's COVID. You know, it's a game. How do you cancel a fucking esports event because of you could just play from home? That's like how video games work. You don't even have to leave your home. But I mean, it's whatever. But do you do ARAM? I mean, I play ARAM with my friends, yeah. I play ARAMs with my ARAM with my friends. You're a gamer? How many hours do you have on Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Oh my fucking... Get a load of this fucking guy. But I am a massive Pokemon nerd. I mean, I play a lot of Pokemon. If you were here before, literally the only sport that can be played during COVID. I know. Hi, Quicks. It's literally the only thing you could do during COVID, and somehow they canceled it for me. It made no sense. Like, we didn't understand it ourselves because we all had the game. It's not like we couldn't play at home. So it was like, what? It was confusing, but I don't know. They canceled it. Friends only? I mean, no, I'm open to playing League with other people. I'm not the best at League. I did have a good game not that long ago. I have a friend who's like really good at the game, and I'm fairly new, so it's not like I can't improve, but he's really good at the game. And I had a game where I actually did like really good, and I was in a lobby with people who are like good at the game, so I felt a little confident there. There's a little bit of confidence. I'm making chicken wings. Canceled what? Chimkin? Get a load of this guy. I'm trying. What do you... Wait, what? What does that mean? Get a load of this guy? Rena, you whore. Canceled what? No, not League of Legends. It was a Rocket League event. I actually think I'm better at Rocket League than I am at League of Legends, but I haven't played Rocket League in so long. I've been playing since season 2 and I still suck. I feel like League, after playing it, I feel like League is definitely like an insanely difficult learning curve. Like, it is a tough game to figure out. It is a very tough game to fully comprehend and understand. There's just a lot of moving parts to the game that I don't think enough people pay attention to when it comes to playing the game, which I don't expect people to, because why would you? It's if you're not playing it all the time every day, there's really no reason to go as hard on it. You just play it, have some fun, and that's really all you need to do. Are you surprised, Johnny? I've stolen like 3 men from you now. Jesus, Rena, you fucking whore. Kogama.
On March 8th, 2026, a Twitter account by the name of Kogama Official posted a tweet promoting their Steam port of Minecraft Legacy Edition. Kogama is a LCE fork on Steam, featuring all achievements, full multiplayer support, MNK, and more. You can play with ease.
I did say hi to everybody.
Princess.
5 months ban Rena, please.
Thank you for the memberships.
I can ban...
Welcome at Junkie Johnny.
For being a member for 5 months, I can give her a 30-second, like a minute ban. I could do like a minute ban for Rena.
Online Game World makes the world available due to the usage of Steamworks API, arriving March 16th, ending the post with a link to their Discord server.
What is
The
this?
tweet would go viral as the concept of some random Twitter user releasing 2014 Minecraft is just insane.
This is obviously just Minecraft Console Edition, even down to the tooltip that tells you about
Oh
the
wait,
rows.
it really is
Microsoft
just
are on the
Minecraft.
move to take down even links to copies of their source code, and you can argue about how justified that is. It's not, but what is definitely
having a
not
hard time on
justified is
Ho-Oh.
this,
You can
re-uploading
catch
the
Ho-Oh
entire
in Gen
source
3?
code
I
onto
didn't even
Steam.
know that.
And to be honest, this
In that
kind of
game.
seemed too good to be true. And it was, as some Twitter users would point out that the owner has a history of marketing other people's games.
See, Gamma's been... You know what? I'll just ask it in chat today. I'll just put it on the poll today. But Gamma's been wanting me to play like a different game, like a different horror game. Or like some other type of game, which I'm okay with. I like doing Pokemon Nuzlocke, but at the same time, I'm completely fine with doing other games. If you guys have other games that you guys want me to play or try on off streams or like off times, you guys can send them. Or Did I do this all right? Okay, there we go. Repo with Gamma? I have. I have done that. I'm trying to do this. Yeah, there we go. Try the salesman. You know, remember when I played like maybe you guys don't, but remember when I played like the fuck was it called? Mouthwashing and like My Side and those other games. Gamma wants me to try to find games like that to play, which I guess to be fair, he's kind of right. Like I could definitely try some of those out. But I like doing Nuzlocke once in a while. They're fun.
As his own. Not only that, but if you take a look at the Kogamma Steam page history,
that's a real life Pokemon. What do you mean? Everybody knows who Gible is. What are you saying? Everybody knows who Gible is, bro. God damn it, man.
You'll find that originally, this game wasn't supposed to be a port of Minecraft Legacy Edition. Instead, it was going to be a game that stole code and assets from an itch.io game titled Voxophalia, but later changed its name and assets to a browser game titled Kogamma, until finally keeping the name but changing the store's assets and descriptions to Minecraft. As you can tell, something just wasn't adding up. Was this all
Is Rena
just
back?
a scam
Well, I gave
to
Rena
trick
like a minute
people into
ban.
buying a crappy Minecraft ripoff? Well, it would actually turn out that the situation was way worse than just a guy plagiarizing video games. This would turn into a predator rabbit hole.
Predator rabbit hole?
The Kogamma Steam page was made by a predator named Sparkling Fishy, who was not only a
Kogamma?
zoo
You
file
mean like the Gamma? Like our Gamma?
that made Roblox games, but also has a history of grooming minors in Discord servers.
What?
In the past, Fishy has owned many Discords promoting zoophilia and pedophilia, asking users to post nudes and sex tapes in order to be verified in his server. This was posted in a server
Rape allowed
that not
too?
only in a server that not only
God damn it.
this was
What the fuck? Rape allowed too? Oh no.
his server. This was posted in a server that not only housed all kinds of predators, but also had minors in it. This would mean that Fishy would get illegal material from minors who wanted to be
Feel free to post your
verified
sex
in his
tapes.
Discord server.
Rape
There
allowed
are
too.
also
So true, Queen. So true, Queen. Or King, or whoever made this. I don't know what you are. Anything. And yes, even as a minor, you can verify. Also, zoo files and maps. Feel free to post your sex tapes. So welcoming. So wholesome.
in his Discord server. There are also screenshots
Larvitar
of him
pulled
sending
away.
explicit
No one-
material.
Not a
with
single soul voted for fucking Beldum, dude. That is bleak. Rip Beldum, dude.
minors still in his server. It only gets worse, as it has been alleged in August of 2025 that Fishy had groomed a 14-year-old under the name of Crystal Ryden. The victim alleges that when Fishy was 18 and she was 14, he would stream explicit material to her multiple times. He would also turn on his Discord camera while he was masturbating.
Fuck is Beldum? God damn it, you guys are acting like you don't know any of these Pokemon. You do. You know them. This is Beldum. Metagross, you know? Metagross, you guys know who Metagross is.
And in the shower. And when they were dating, they would wear matching Rule 34 profile pictures. In a screen recording, the
that's
victim would
fucked up.
confirm their age to be 14 in a server with multiple 14-year-olds.
I'm 14, yo. You know, like, I'm 14, yo. I don't think that's a new gen.
I'm
Mm.
14 too.
We're all
Talking-
14.
We're
except
all
for Pen.
14.
He's 18.
This recording could mean that they likely met on a server with multiple minors in it. While I can't confirm how they met, I can confirm that they have been in private Discord calls before. It only gets worse when you realize that Fishy also owns a Discord account posing as a 15-year-old girl in the hopes of interacting with more minors. I'm new to this internet stuff. My mom allowed me to browse more
This is, like, fucked
other
up.
than YouTube. I'm 15.
Stormy's
by the way,
video is like so
please don't
spooky,
be
dude. This thing
weird.
is like really
With
spooky.
all this in mind, it becomes very worrying that Fishy posted a link under the promotion of a post of a game mainly played by kids. While gathering this information, I came
Stormy's
to this
so
very
fucking awesome.
unsettling realization that the post, the Steam game, and the account were all made to funnel minors into viewing explicit material on Discord. This situation would be like a fox.
Why is
in a
Stormy
hen-
doing this voice? He's like he's like doing like a weird like voice for this. He's doing like the whole like acting surprised voice. It's so awesome.
house. When I joined the Discord server, I looked at the top tabs and found that they seemed innocent, just server and game info. But it wouldn't be long until I noticed that something was up. There were many minors within this server, some alleging that the server owner, which was one of Fishy's alt accounts, sent them fee. Within general chat, they had been posting explicit GIFs knowingly in front of many minors. We know that this is Fishy because of this screenshot showing all of his
Ice
arts.
cream.
After the grooming pedophilia allegations were
Steak.
unleashed to the public, Fishy would go mask off and double down that they were indeed a predator. Soon after this, I reported
let
the
me
server.
groom them? Wait, who is that? Who has that bio? SMDFN? What does that mean? SMDFN? Let me groom them. Who has it? Let me groom them. She gibble on my beldam until I larvitar. What? What does that even mean? She gibble on my beldam until I larvitar. Oh. Oh.
Soon after this, I reported the server, reported the post, reported the owner of the server, and then left, advising some to leave as soon as they can. Before we move on, I like to take a second to say that this game isn't in any way related to the Kogamo browser game, as they have made it clear in their Discord server that they are not involved with this whatsoever. On March 9th, 2025, the Kogamo Steam page posted a response.
Oh my goodness,
Recently,
dude.
an
Gamma is
individual
such a
operating under
Gamma's
the
a
name
fucking
Sparkling
pedophile.
Fishy gained unauthorized control of one of our Discord servers and development accounts belonging to a team member. After investigating the situation internally, we discovered that the individual and the supposed employee were in fact the same person, who had been impersonating a member of our team. Once this was confirmed, we immediately removed the individual from all project access and permanently banned them from our community spaces.
Okay.
According to them, this predator somehow hacked a member's Discord account and started, I don't know, peeing. Well, there's like a
Started what?
0.001% chance that this might be true. If you go into the new server they linked within this Steam post, you'll find out pretty easily that Fishy might still be running this Discord
General
full of
Brazil. Oh yeah, dude. This guy's from Brazil. We got a brown one. We got a brown one. This one's brown. Big shocker. He's brown.
minors, as the server is not only Brazilian based, the country Fishy is from, but also the owner of the server has a remarkably similar name to one of Fishy's alts. Little to say, minors are still at risk of being victimized, and the Steam post saying that they fired the predator was a complete lie. Going off script here, this is bad. This is like one of the worst cases I've
Going off script here. This is bad. God damn it, man. Yeah, Stormy.
Seen so far. It's like they're using this Minecraft ripoff to victimize many kids. It's sickening. That's pretty much the situation so far. This situation is very disturbing. A guy who has a history of being predatory towards...
Oh, I have to change something real quick, chat. I have to change something. I have to change the... We can fix the deletion of messages. Give me a sec. The deletion of chats. Give me a second, chat. We'll fix this. Let's see. Okay, we changed it. We changed it, so now it can fix it. There we go. Wait, I'm seeing chats now. What's wrong with Brown, huh, Marcus? There's a lot wrong with Brown. I'll tell you what.
Minors used the Minecraft source code leak as an opportunity to groom minors. The Twitter post was viewed by 425,000 people. Sparkling Fishy made a server posing as an innocent Minecraft LCE leak Discord to lure in minors that he can victimize. While researching and writing this video, I have never felt so disgusted and disturbed by a situation before. The info within this video is what has been publicized as of late. I can only imagine what hasn't been reported. If you run into this fishy person or any of their alt accounts, I recommend reporting them on Discord as well as reporting them to the proper agencies. Yeah, I guess this is the end. Sub, like, subscribe. I said that 2 times. And bye.
Yes! Minecraft, subscribe, PETA review. Hi, Raven. Hi, Cody, by the way. PETA review, let's go. We need more PETA review. That's what we need. We need more PETA review. That would be really good. All right. Well, that was a fun... That was a fun watch. That was a pretty fun watch. I enjoyed that. I do love me a good Stormy Skeleton video. They're pretty good. Now on to the next, which is... Apparently Tactical Templar has been saying some stuff, chat. If you guys know which videos are the ones, I can look... I'm down to look over it. Oh... Actually, wait. The Leaflet versus Remnant dialogue? Gamma is evil. Gamma is evil. Gamma's a pedophile. You're right, Stormy. But, all I know is that he's been going on defense for somebody. Nicholas the Oreo is right? Oh, no. Wait, hold on. No, hold on. Wait, what did he do here? His fat ass is trying to get in the chair. What the fuck is happening?
Brothers, I have been very critical of Nicholas Diorio.
Oh my god, bro. He's in a fucking... Dude, this is so awesome. He's in like a... He's in like an army outfit. He's like a vet. He's like serving the country and everything. He's so cool.
Or Nick the Oreo, as I call him. But here's the deal. As much as I may not like this guy, there is something that I don't like even more. And that is YouTube meddling in YouTubers' careers. basically trying.
I did go over the Nux stuff, and I know that Tactical Templar went on the Nux defense. Obviously, he would. It doesn't surprise me at all that he would go on the defense. It's not a surprise. I never got a chance to actually look into Tactical Templar's videos recently about any of this stuff. We haven't done a Tactical Templar just watch in a while. Like, this guy can make any videos about anything, and they're funny as fuck. It's perfect. It's perfect content. If there's nothing to talk about, you talk about Tactical Templar. It's perfect. He just says the dumbest shit. He's awesome, dude. He says the most craziest, dumbest shit. I love this guy.
To make their job a little bit harder, whether this be censorship, demonetization. There are a number of things that YouTube does that, for me, not only don't make any sense, but they make it less appealing to be a content creator on their platform. Now, I will say that, in my experience, YouTube is better than, like, Twitch. But, that being said, that's not a very high bar to set. So I wanted to watch a little bit of this clip from Nicholas the Oreo, because this has to do with
his mic quality has gotten
Anissa
significantly worse.
And apparently there was a situation where apparently YouTube got involved a little bit. So I did want to react to this, because my thing is, I have people that I don't like. Nicholas Diorio is one person that I don't like, and it's a personal thing, and it's, you know, of course it's his positions against my channel and stuff like that, but I do have principles, meaning that if somebody that I don't like is in a position where they are disadvantaged by something that could disadvantage me and disadvantage other people, I am not as foolish as these people on the left to just celebrate that. I don't think that's a win. I would rather defeat somebody within the arena of ideas, and I'd rather be able to continue to make fun of them if they're somebody that's just endlessly entertaining. With the case of Nick the Oreo, if, you know, YouTube were to strike his channel or were to demonetize him or something, I wouldn't celebrate that. I wouldn't think that was a good thing. I think that would be a terrible thing.
No, yeah, we watched that a long time ago, Cody. Were you here for that? I don't know if you were here for that. We watched the Nick Andros video about the Nuxtaku stuff, and I mean, I don't want to reiterate myself here and talk about it again, right? But it's bad. You know, like the stuff that Nick Andros brings up is like terrible. Right. And it's just kind of funny how we're getting more and more of these like absolute just fucking idiots coming out of the woodworks to go on the defense force for Nuxtaku. People who can't even come up with genuine reasonings for why they're defending him. They just kind of bullshit their way, because I mean, let's be real. It's either that they themselves are just a bunch of degenerate creeps, or it's because they're just trying to leech off of the grifter, right? They want to be like friends with the big YouTuber. That's kind of like the end goal for a lot of these people, is they just want to be big bubbies with the big one. So they go on defense for them so they can make their money.
Because there's an audience of people that do want to consume his content, even if I don't particularly like that content. And I'm aware that the opposite is true. If my channel were to be demonetized,
I don't know what this guy's talking about right now, though.
But I have a different standard. It's like, for me, I don't care how much I don't like you personally. Mizkiff,
it does blow my mind that he doesn't. If he genuinely still has monetization on his channel, it blows my mind, because he has said some crazy stuff. This guy has talked about how he thinks we should bring back, like what was it? The death penalty for trans people. Like, I feel like that's, you know, how is that not enough?
The situation with Emaru, I talked about that. I really don't like Mizkiff. But I did highlight the fact that it did seem very weird that Emaru's statement from her lawyer was basically that well, this is her interpretation of events and it's all emotional, her emotional truth. I said that was complete bullshit. Either it's true or it's not. And if Emeru is lying, if turns out she made the whole fucking thing up, then I will act accordingly. I will do a very, very harsh video and critique of Emeru, because I think that's what people should do. I think they should react to new information, whether it's positive or negative, whether it affects them positively or negatively. And for me, I don't want to give Mizkiff any positive kudos, but I don't want to cover him positively, but I absolutely would if it turns out that
what a
that
saint.
Emily lied, or
What a
she
saint,
manipulated
dude.
things in this way, because it's more important than just one issue. Anyway, I've rambled enough.
So
enough
scary.
About that. Let's
Big
get to the
scary
main core
Templar. Hemi
of
is
the topic.
shaking.
I'm going to play a little bit of this clip from.
To be fair, Emeru is
From
pretty
Nick
fucking
Fiorio.
tiny. I think
Colossus.
this guy would crush her.
I don't know, dude, I'm so fucking confused. I don't that guys, this is our first Trump tent. I bet this was better than every Xander Hall stream. Okay, that was our first Trump tent, first Trump content. All right, big news for YouTube potentially. I am the only one that I know other than Rusty Cage who's had this happen. So we got concern trolled yesterday. I don't know, concern troll. We got like mass flagged the other day. I didn't really talk about.
I think that's pathetic.
Jesus
Let me
Christ.
just say, I think mass flagging.
Oh, Templar. What is this about him just getting mass flagged? Okay, never mind. I thought it was gonna be something funny. Let's talk about the real deal. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes. Let's go to the leaflet. Because if you guys haven't paid attention, Leaflet is somebody who's defending Nuxtaku. Very big defender of Nuxtaku. I do want to watch the content that Mrao was checking out, chat. Wasn't there a streamer who like was using her daughter? Like a VR YouTuber. VR. God damn it, dude. What am I? Bear with me, chat. I haven't slept. You should watch the Nick Andrews video about this VTuber named Leaflet who was defending Nux, and apparently it came out in that video that he has fucked up shit in our Discord too. Wait, he has a video as well? Mass flag bad, brave take. Mass flag bad, brave take. Did Nick Andros make a video about Leaflet? Holy shit, Ginger, chill. Chill out. Do you have a link to that video? Because I would love to watch a video about Leaflet. VTuber. Also, apparently, also one of her VTuber models has a bikini and she talks like a toddler sometimes. It's fucking weird. No, yeah, Leaflet's a fucking weirdo. I mean, listen, half of these people are all weirdos. All these people who go on mass defense for Nux are a bunch of fucking weird creeps. Other than the select few that maybe are just, again, grifters who just want to, suck up to Big Daddy, Big Daddy Nux, so they can suckle on the teats. But, like, the reality is you don't need to, because there's plenty of other right-wing YouTubers you can suckle on, right? The only people defending Nuxtaku are genuine, like, weirdos. But did Tactical Templar... Okay. My question was, didn't Tactical Templar make a video defending the woman that was bringing her daughter on live streams? The VTuber woman who was bringing her daughter on live streams? I swear Tactical Templar went on a defense. I don't know if that's the previous video. I don't know her name. My problem is it this person, Celestium? Is it this person? Like, I don't know. I imagine it's recent. I just don't see anything here. I thought he went on a defense. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong about that. But I thought he went on defense for the lady. I might be wrong here. Yeah, I'll get it. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for getting it. If we can't end up finding it, we'll continue our our video of the autopsy of plagued moth. We'll definitely keep watching this one. But we might do this one while gaming. We'll see. Hi, Benzen. Because this one doesn't have a lot of well, actually no, it does have a lot of visuals. I don't know what I'm saying. No, not really. Not much. I'm waiting, Cody. Here, let's see.
All right, brothers. This is a video from Celestium. It's called Canceled Again. I don't know what this is about. We're going in blind.
We're going in blind.
That's right, guys. Suit up.
Okay, well,
Because
wait.
it
What did
seems
she
like
get canceled
there's another
for?
cancellation on the horizon, perhaps. And from the 1 or 2 seconds that I've seen of this, the tone does not appear to be a joke. It does not appear to be some sort of play on words or some sort of, misconception. But we'll see. This is Celestium. This is somebody that has been on my channel once before to talk about a canceling of theirs.
Oh.
So this is a person that was basically canceled by a company
Eating a food that rhymes with the word
where
turd.
they had created
Let me see.
a
Let me
campaign
think.
to make a
Is it
plushie doll
burger?
of them. And because of this person's Christian values, it appears
This is gonna go so south. Because of this person's Christian values, yeah?
a canceling of theirs.
Yeah?
So this is a person that was basically canceled by a company where they had created a campaign to make a plushie doll of them. And because of this person's Christian values, it appears that the company just decided, you know what, we don't want to do
I do
business
not
with you.
remember that, Captain C.
We're
I
just
don't know
going
what
to
that
completely
is.
cut you out. You know, your GoFundMe thing that you set up, we're going to refund everyone. Basically doing tortious interference and getting involved based on politics, which is disgusting. So, let's see. Maybe it's a continuation of that. Maybe something else happened, but let's give it a watch.
To be honest, and just want to say thank you to everybody who's here right now, and just want to let you guys know the notifications.
I don't think this is
are
the
off
mother.
right now. Because I just there's too many
Oh my
thoughts kind of going
god,
in my head
bro.
right
He's got this shit echoing. He's got fucking... God damn it, dude.
now, and I think it would be really distracting.
Stop!
But I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support on what's happened today. And
what is that?
I wasn't
noise?
really
What is that noise? Oh my god, man. Too much stimulation, dude. Stop.
expecting this to happen today. It just kind of feels like every time I'm about to go on side scrollers, the day before something happens. I guess this is the second time, and I guess this is the second time.
God,
just
you can
kinda
hear
sucks,
him
man.
fat
There's
fingering
just
his mouse.
A lot going on in the background. There's too much.
What is that noise?
It's one thing after another, and
It's her. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the heck is happening?
and
It's called a notification.
if you're the person who did this, or you're part of the group that did this, I
Ooh.
just want you to know right now that I'm not scared of you.
Whoa.
I'm not terrified.
Whoa.
I don't care. if you
Cody said he
continue
was
to
gonna
do
get
this,
it
by
for
the
me,
way.
and he never did.
You
Sad
can continue.
face.
I genuinely am not scared of you.
What is this? What
I've
happened?
gone through way worse in life than what's
What?
going on now.
He doesn't know the sound of
So,
the dono.
If you
He's
want to continue
broke.
to be demonic, if you want to continue to be,
He's so...
I'm not gonna say the other term. Keep that.
Come on, what happened?
If you want to continue to do that, just know, if you want to continue to do that, you're gonna have to do a way more damage than that to get me
What?
to bend the knee to you.
What happened?
I just want you to know that.
Stop fake posting.
I'll
Give
still be
it to
praying
me.
for you, of course.
Give it to
Hope that
him.
you repent.
Stop
What is
fake
this?
Hope that
posting. Why is he going in blind? He does this every time. He doesn't even know what she's talking about. To be fair, I don't know what she's talking about. I assume this was the woman that... I don't think this is the woman with the child. We'll have to just cover the basic shit, the leaflet stuff. It's better to just cover the leaflet stuff.
Hand it off to me. I didn't know.
All right, brothers. We are here with with Remnant, who you know, has been involved with very publicly with an incident, a situation involving another
who is Remnant
Christian VTuber content creator that goes by the name of Leaflet. Now, I wanted to invite him on because I think that this topic will interest my audience, and I think that there are some questions that I think should be answered, and I think that he's going to do a fantastic job. So I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to pass it off to him. I'm going to let him introduce himself, say who he is, and you know, basically the floor is his for as long as you want it, and then we'll have a dialogue about this current event. All right. So, Remnant, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Yeah. So, the introduction, I would be Remnant777. I do the channel Remnant777, and I made a whole video about the whole Leaflet situation because I'm a longtime viewer of Leaflet, and there was a whole drama that went on with Leaflet. She had a server, and I guess I can just speak a lot more clearly right now because I was
okay. Thank you. It was harmful opinions, is what you were talking about.
There's going to be a hefty intro on this one.
All right, this is the video that I was trying to get. We'll go into this first, then we could probably go into this because I'm assuming that this is about Remnant talking about Leaflet doing something evil. I'm assuming.
Boys. But I'm sure someone in the comments will provide a timestamp if you want to see where I start looking at Leaflet's comments. Over and over, in response to my last couple of videos in comments and elsewhere, I see people very upset that I'm blaming Leaflet for this stuff that was done in her Discord. I feel there's been a misunderstanding. I said Leaflet should address it.
Well, don't worry, Captain C. We can check it out, but let's check it out. Let's not get too derailed.
I said it's something I'd like to see her address, as in give attention to and fix. In my first video, I showed an example of someone who says they're 14 and 15, repeatedly talking sexually with other members in a mixed-age Discord, having attention drawn to them over and over and over again, and being allowed to remain. When they were finally banned, it was only because of pressure that was kept up by the people who wanted this kid gone. And I made the suggestion of simply banning minors. To quote myself, I said, "Your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids on site." This wouldn't even actually be a new policy. It would be a rollback. You can see in 2021 that they used to do this. They used to get rid of any kids they knew about. So this is originally an 18+ server that at some point they decided to open up to kids. I don't know when exactly or why, and my obvious suggestion is to go back to that. I don't think that's too crazy or evil or unfair at all. People have talked a lot about what I'm trying to do to Leaflet. What I'm trying to do is get her to do something like that. Listen to what I say in those videos. Doesn't matter if you can say it's not my fault if what you're doing is letting everything go to shit. That's my repeated argument. I think what I'm suggesting is quite clear. Now, many people in the comments have argued that I can't suggest Leaflet do anything about this, because she's not the owner of the server, it's nothing to do with her. And Leaflet can be seen in there saying, "I literally do not own this server, did you know that?" She said that a few times, and in 2025 you can see her saying technically it's a fan server. And many people have told me
Leaflet a woman?
her server is the Patreon one.
I'm gonna keep it real. I thought Leaflet was a dude. I honest to God thought Leaflet was a dude. Let me double check this. I gotta figure this out now. Let's see.
How close Konstantin Kisin came to being assassinated during his debate with Destiny. All right, let's see it.
From the Charlie Kirk killing.
This is actually a woman. Or this is a trans woman. Either way, they are technically a woman. That's kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I kind of thought this was going to be like a crusade of like... I thought this was going to be like a crusade of men. But maybe I'm sexist. Maybe I didn't think that women could be, pedophiles too. You never know.
And this is a common source of confusion. The server I've been looking at is Leaflet's official Patreon server. One of my little minions went to Leaflet's Patreon. If you buy into the £8 or the £39 tier, you will be granted Discord access and Patreon exclusive channel access. When you use the link that Patreon gives you to get that Discord access, It is this server. If it's true that she has no power over it, I think she probably shouldn't be selling people access to it and access to channels within it. Another interesting thing to note, while people point to Leaflet saying she's not the owner, and they say the mods run it, none of the comments or messages I've read say which one is the owner. Other people like Gibbs on Twitter and KF have done similar with other tools as well, but I used a better Discord plugin called Permissions Viewer to take a look. And it turns out that the mod who has the owner role is someone called Asari Mitsuha. Leaflet fans will certainly know who this is. For people not familiar, Leaflet's main channel isn't Leaflet, it's Leaflet and Asari. This is the other half. This is Leaflet's mother. This is who the plugin identifies as having
Leaflet's
the owner role.
mother?
It also identifies Leaflet herself
Hold
as
on. This is official channel for Leaflet and Asari, mother and daughter streamer duo? This is a mom and daughter duo? What? This is a... Wait. This is a rabbit hole, huh? What do you mean this is a mother and daughter duo? You're telling me two women are bad at once? I don't believe it. Usually it's the men. Usually the men are the rapists. Usually the men are the pedophiles. What's going on, dude? We're like in a new era.
Having admin privileges, and she has made a unilateral stand against behavior in her server before. Regarding an uptick in people saying slurs about trans people, Leaflet stepped in to say, I'll just say it myself, even though I'm not the owner of the server. While discourse is allowed and appreciated, please be chill about it. We welcome civil discussion, but we do not welcome slurs or direct personal attacks. Discussing cultural or LGBT stuff is fine, but using it as an opportunity to throw slurs around instead of facing the cultural argument itself is unacceptable, even to me. You have the freedom to say these things, but I have the freedom to not like it and to not allow it in our private community. And you can say it somewhere else because I want a place where discourse is based on the content and logic and not on personal insults. She then even says if people are too off the rails, they'll have to make more rules. My plea to Leaflet is, you also have the freedom to not allow kids. Your friends, fans, and people who just generally like you can make all the excuses they want for things that happen as a result of welcoming minors with open arms, and your mods being flakes. Would it not be better to simply not have to make excuses at all? Just a kill on site policy. When your users beg you to ban an underage user, and they ping the mods in, they see that the person said it, right-click, ban. Instead of umming and ahhing over whether the kid is posting hornily enough for that to be a problem. Just get rid. I can't make you, but given what I was shown and then what I saw myself, it would be remiss of me not to suggest it. Hopefully this clarifies things. I don't normally like to dumb it down this much, but it seems necessary in this case. Now I'm going to cover a couple other things.
Was this like a... I guess a question would be more like, was this like an 18+ server where they were posting things that were egregious, or like was it just an incident of like it's a server with not really much anything in it? It's not like they post anything like egregious, but someone found out that one of the people was a minor and they just didn't want to ban them. Because if that's the case, then it's like, if the server in itself wasn't like a danger zone or anything, if the server in itself wasn't like some fucking evil server where there was like not porn, but just bad stuff, at least. It doesn't have to be just porn. It could be other things, but like where people are posting suggestive stuff, then yes, obviously that's already, that in itself is probably something you shouldn't do. But if it's a server where they don't allow any of that stuff and they're kind of closely watching it, I would take a lot of this with a grain of salt, and just the worst thing you could say is that you should have banned the minor when someone told you to ban them, and that's it. And the fact that you didn't do it right away, yeah, that's bad, but as long as you do it going forward, then, whatever, it's not a big deal. That's what I would probably that's what I'm wondering here. It just fully depends on like what's being posted in the server.
Response. A lot of people didn't like that I explained the ooh-oh post and what that means. I explained because I think most people aren't familiar. So I showed this person explaining that ooh-oh is what they say when they see what lolicons call cunny, young characters.
Oh, okay, well
young
then
or
that...
small or childlike characters.
I just gotta let the video play, man. I gotta let the video play. Oh, Rena, thank you for the $10 derail to the video I sent.
sent.
This is a video about a game. a game that promised to bring back that childlike feeling of excitement, exploration, and discovery. To nostalgically transport you back to the very first time that you found love for the hobby, you would travel across magical
What
floating
is
islands,
this?
meet cute animals, make friends, build your very own home, and embrace a cozy, warm adventure. But for this dream to exist, there was just one catch.
What? Why is this so evil? What's happening? Definitely Harmful Opinions is right when he says no one's gonna blame you if you just don't have kids in your server at all. That is the
Thank
consensus.
you for the memberships. Welcome at Reminabu
Christ,
_
Remy. Hi, Remy. Take notes, melon boy. Okay, I'll take fine. I'll take notes. No, but he's definitely right in that sense.
In January of 2020, an artist by the name of Lily appeared on the now popular crowdfunding website of Kickstarter. Lily described her love of making cute things, as well as her excitement for launching her very first crowdfunding campaign. For now, she was asking for a modest goal of just $300 US. For this price, she would deliver cute Pokemon pins to the backers. For just $12 each, you could own a Squirtle, a Pikachu, a Bulbasaur, or any of the other 8 designs.
Okay, well, that's
Fortunately,
interesting.
nobody informed Nintendo, or this story could have ended before it began. Instead, her likely infringing designs flew under the radar and managed to raise a respectable amount. The initial goal of $300 flew by, and Lily ended the month with $8,080. Not a bad payday for an independent artist. Seeing the success of this campaign, Lily continued her business of creating heavily inspired pins of popular, cozy, and cute products. Heading to Kickstarter on an almost monthly basis to post 2 more campaigns, one asking for a newly increased goal of $400 for what Lily called Stardew Valley Pals, which this time managed to raise $6,573, and then another the next month for a now $700 campaign of yet more Pokemon pins, which raised $4,395. The total of this was almost $19,000 in just 4 months. Lily was creating a real business out of this. And on top of that, she was making the correct, intelligent business decision. Instead of continuing to use Kickstarter, which would take a fee for the services, she was building up a mailing list of users who were interested in her products. She was now going to start sending out notifications for new sets of pins, new designs from her very own website. That website was called fluffnest.com, a name you're going to hear a lot throughout the rest of this story. For the coming months,
we're gonna find out this woman's like raping children or something.
Was doing great. Lily was continuing to create products based on popular intellectual property, selling pins of fan favorites like Studio Ghibli, and marketing to her small, dedicated audience via the Kickstarter updates for the previous
How was
projects.
all Pokemon,
Not only
by the
that,
way? What
but
does
she
he
was
mean
now
by
growing
Studio
an
Ghibli?
Instagram following as well. After months, Lily, who previously was assumed to be the lone operator of this business, took things to the next level. She revealed a man named David, who was called the organizer, and also Jen, who is, quote, just here to help. And now, just like the Kickstarter projects had escalated in the asking price, the company was escalating from pins to a new product called Puff Pals. But with this being an escalation in business, no longer just small pins for a solo artist, they went back to Kickstarter to reach the maximum amount of audience and funding. This launched on the 2nd of October 2020, but where previously they asked for hundreds of dollars and instead received thousands, this time the lovable little Puff Pals managed to pull in almost $171,000.
Holy shit, man.
This, as Kickstarters go, was both a monumental and organizational success. Lily had to date raised close to $200,000 off of her own creativity, passion, and mind for business. In under a year of kickstarting,
That's pretty
she
impressive.
not only managed to raise money across 4 different projects, but she'd also fulfilled the previous 3 and had a lot of happy returning customers. If the story ended right here, it would be feel good. How a young artist turned her passion into an incredibly well-paid living, turned creativity into a thriving business, had thousands of fulfilled fans. The story doesn't end here. In fact, if this was a movie, this is when the dramatic music would kick in. From here, Lily and David enjoy the success. Maybe they enjoy it a little bit too much, but very soon their entire life would be changed, just like the world around them.
They raped kids.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
No, not COVID, no! No! Don't hit again! The ambition in the lie?
As the saying goes, when one door closes, another opens. With the pandemic closing borders globally, delaying shipping, logistics, and forcing people indoors, markets across the globe were impacted in dramatic ways. The Fluffnest business of designing, selling, and then fulfilling plushies relied largely on a supply chain that no longer functioned. Relying on supply from China at a time when shipping couldn't be guaranteed left many businesses in danger, including Puff Pals. But in keeping with the analogy of one door closing and another opening, while some markets such as this were experiencing financial hardships verging on collapse, other markets were seeing record levels of engagement and spending. With little else to do, locked indoors, people were turning to a beloved pastime: video games.
Yes!
Everybody
look,
was
it's
playing,
League.
even people that
Why
had
is this guy
no
playing
interest
Twitch?
in the
This little fucker.
hobby previously, or maybe that had left it behind years ago. With a massive influx of newcomers looking for a casual entry point to the hobby, this created a perfect storm of circumstance for a specific game by the name of Animal Crossing. Releasing on March 20th of 2020, right as lockdowns were beginning in many countries, this game landed at the perfect time. Not only was it considered a better version of the game loved by millions previously, but it caught fire on social media as a somewhat cultural phenomenon during an antisocial crisis. People being locked away, no longer seeing friends, family, co-workers, and then Animal Crossing seemed to represent a social connection that many were now missing in their day-to-day life. People who'd never touched a video game console in their life were buying one just to play Animal Crossing. The game was everywhere, and due to this, the game sold over 44 million copies over the next 3 years, which was more than 3.5 times their most successful previous title. It was the success of Animal Crossing and other...
I'm gonna be so dead ass. Fucking Animal Crossing, the newest Animal Crossing game, is it really that good? Like, it's a good game. It was fun, but it's not that good of a game. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's kind of crazy.
Similar games that really plays a factor in today's story existing, and for the ambition or greed of Lily and David to reach the heights that you'll soon see. 2 years after Animal Crossing, the Fluffnest account reappeared on a familiar website, Kickstarter. This time, however, it wasn't a $12 Pokemon pin, it wasn't a cute plushie,
Rena,
and it certainly wasn't a $300 goal. This time, it was a video game, Puff Pals Island Skies, launching on the 7th of April 2022,
oh my God,
with a
I'm so
campaign that
happy.
promised to deliver a full multi-platform, cozy life sim game for the low price of $75,000. This page was incredibly well made and built with details that gave people a sense of professionalism, expertise, and ultimately a sense of belief. What happened next was unexpected and incredibly lucrative. The previous success of the Puff Pals Plushies campaign, raising $170,000 from a goal of $10,000, looked like pennies in comparison.
This game looks
Within
like
6
shit.
days, the project had raised $500,000. A week later, a full million. By the end of the 30-day
shit.
campaign, the Fluffnest team was sitting on a cool, crisp $2.5 million.
How?
Some people believed in this project so much that they handed over thousands of dollars each, Specifically, 23 people bought packages ranging from $1,000 to even $5,000 for a chance to meet the founders and have their hand in the creation of this dream game. It's easy now, in
10
retrospect,
backers?
to point to the Puff Pals Kickstarter campaign and ask an
This
obvious
shit looks
question.
mid as fuck.
How did anybody expect a video game was going to be made with just a $75,000 goal? This, in context, is less than one full-time senior developer's salary in any moderate-sized American city for the year. But it's important to also remember that people are more likely to throw caution to the wind if you dangle a dream in front of them. They seem to miss the forest for the trees, and the campaign was incredibly well designed to make them do exactly that. The gameplay video was convincing enough for people to believe that this game already existed in some meaningful capacity, that maybe the developers just needed a little bit of help to get to where they were going, because clearly they'd already done a lot of work, and that since they already had done some of that work with an established studio shown on the Kickstarter page, surely this wasn't a huge risk, right? I mean, they even had a provably successful business behind it, one that much of the community had heard about or even bought and received items from in the past. Unfortunately, as this video exists, you all know that things were not going to end up in sunshine, rainbows, and
Yeah,
cute
someone
little
got
animals
raped
being
or
collected in a
something.
cozy game for 42,000
Pockets were raped. People's pockets were raped. Dude. Okay, to be fair, 75,000, I think he's a little putting it over exaggerate. I think he's over exaggerating the whole 75,000 for a game thing, because I do think there are such thing as indie games that are made with fucking $0. There's people out there who make games and spend their own money on this stuff. They go in the negatives, or yeah, they don't get any backing or any pay or anything to make these games. There's people who make their own games by themselves for free. So it's not out of the ordinary that someone could work on a video game with a group of people and maybe just do it for the fun of it, and maybe only spend around a couple thousand on just making sure the game looks good. Meanwhile, people don't really have much of a salary. It's a possibility, but the reality is that I don't think that's I mean, 75,000 for the amount of people that are on the board, that's crazy low. Indie devs make games for much less. Stardew Valley was a $0 game. Yeah, I mean, these games were games that had no money put into them. So I would be more, in my opinion, this is we're talking about people who make, a bunch of pins of cute little animals and stuff, and then they decide to finally go down the route of stuffed animals, and then all of a sudden, now that that's lucrative, they go down the route of a video game. And in my opinion, asking for 75,000 seems like a lot, because one, the game doesn't look all that pretty or anything. It's not like the game looks, no offense to the game that we just saw, but it's not like it looked like it was anything special. It just kind of looked like a mobile game that was, one of those like mobile games that you build a fucking farm on and get like these animals in the world or something. Your opinion. Yeah. She makes pins. Yeah. So like, I think 75,000 honestly might be a lot. It sounds reasonable. So in my opinion, I can understand why people would back it, because if there's a video to show it and all of that jazz, I don't see a reason why people would not think that this wouldn't be real, especially given the fact that this person has, apparently the pins are real. She's gifted out the pins, and the stuffed animals as well are real. Like, it's not like these things have always been a scam up until the game, and all of a sudden it's like, how'd you fall for the game? It's like, no, it seems like this stuff should have been realistically, it makes it, I don't know, I think 75,000 makes sense, because people have made video games for less.
People who gave money for it to exist. Instead, many backers would be introduced to the reality of an all too common Kickstarter nightmare, and this was just the beginning. The end of a Kickstarter must be a moment of shared excitement. The community comes together, they join the Discord, they celebrate. Wow, if they could finish the game for just $75,000, imagine how much quicker and how much better it will be with $2.5 million. For David and Lily, I wonder if they shared that excitement, and if they did, how long did it last? Did reality ever come crashing down on their shoulders? Raising money had seemingly been easy, but now they needed to deliver a game with zero experience and already built on a lie. To begin with, Puff Pals followed the same trajectory as all Kickstarter games do. The fans were chill. In fact, the Puff Pal fans were probably the most chill I've ever seen when making these Kickstarter to core videos. There was little to no drama, and even after a year without substantial updates or the playable alpha that was promised and was already delayed, the community were polite, they were patient, they were still excited. In fact, the only drama that was visible was the constantly growing fan base asking if it would be possible for them to buy in to get more plushies, or to somehow gain late backer access to some of the exclusive Kickstarter rewards. The drama was, how can we give you more money because we love this thing so much?
Okay.
And
Now
publicly,
this is where I look at these people and then I go, oh, it's just a bunch of women. Yeah. That's where I kind of start going, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of this is no different than, like, listen, it's no different than the Sanrio craze and all these other crazes, man. You could dangle a fucking obvious scam in front of a Sanrio girl's face, and as long as the character is Sanrio, they'll give you $1 million. They'll empty their wallets to you. It could be the most obvious scam of your life, and they will empty everything for you, bro. It's insane. It's insane. Just like Rena.
it looked like everything was going exactly according to plan. Or at least that's what people thought anyway. Despite Fluffness finishing the project funding on May 7th, 2022, raising over 3,000% more money than they initially asked for, there hadn't really been much in terms of visual progress. Sure, you can't build a video game overnight, but when you consider that the Kickstarter campaign launched with showing an existing video game and all of the Kickstarter tiers claiming a delivery date of January 2023 for alpha, nothing had really happened at this stage. In fact, nothing happened for a real long time. Sure, the Fluffness team showed developer streams, creating music, showing art, and constantly encouraging this ever-growing community to get together on social platforms such as Discord, but there wasn't really substantial progress of the actual gameplay being shown. There was really only one thing that showed great progress, and that was the ability for the customers to hand over more money to Fluffnest, continuing to hand over their hard-earned cash to collect the animals that they thought they would one day be able to collect in the
so
new
long as
Puff
it's
Pals
cute.
Island Skies video game.
You could show a picture of just a cute animal to a woman, and you could be like, hey, now give me money. And she'll do it. She'll do it. She'll just hand over everything in her wallet. She'll say, oh my God, that's such a cute picture of a cat. Here, have all my money. God, it's sickening. It's fucking sick.
Even before meaningful progress on the game had been shown, David and Lily opened a secret shop on June 30th, giving people a limited time ability to grab some of the Kickstarter exclusive plushies that would soon vanish from purchase forever, creating an element of FOMO, fear of missing out. But if anybody assumed that this was merely a distraction, the Fluffness team made sure to mention the game was still coming along, and in fact, the alpha would be arriving within the next 3 months, somewhere around August or September of 2023. And they sort of kept their word here, because on September 20th, 2023, the Fluffness team announced an alpha livestream. This would be the first time people got to see what their money had gone towards and the progress of the game. Inside Update 48, the team showed some downloadable wallpapers, discussed the foraging mechanic, and teased the alpha reveal stream coming in 2 days' time. That stream happened, and the game's alpha was finally given a release date, October 31st, 2023. The long, hard months of waiting were apparently coming to an end. Everybody would soon be able to see exactly what their money had gone towards, including the extra money being raised on the Fluffnest website through sales of plushies and other merchandise. Everybody was incredibly excited, but perhaps they shouldn't have been, because based on the feedback that was shared in this handy chart after the alpha release on November 17th, users gave the game a scathing review for even basic elements of the experience. On
Yeah,
a scale
probably
of
because it was
1 to
dog
7,
shit.
1 being terrible, 7 being excellent, the majority of users scored the game's controls as a 3 or 4, which was high praise compared to their overwhelming negative scores of 1 and 2 for the camera controls. Now bear in mind that this happened in late 2023. The next months were updates to the alpha experience, with updates titled Alpha 1.1, 1.2, and then 1.3. The next substantial update after this appeared on August 15th.
What is so surprising? It looks like shit. Okay, now I'm just getting pissed off. The game didn't look good to begin with. Why you all dumped $2.5 million into this game that never looked good to start? What are we talking about?
24, where the Fluffness team announced that the quote final release was on track for 2025. They were like a year and a half over delivery date. They were already so far behind, despite raising so much additional funding and continuing to do so through private means on their website. And if you remember earlier, I said everyone was chill, everyone was excited, everyone was just waiting. Now everything started to turn. The team are now forced to answer questions that appear to be difficult, such as what's happening with the funding. There was serious concerns from the public about what was happening with this behind the scenes. They replied, quote, "The budget and funding for the project is stable and on track." But the community, as you can tell from screenshots here, were not really paying attention to the platitudes. They were no longer the cozy gamers that were just waiting for updates. They were now concerned, critical, and demanding answers. The tone had shifted dramatically.
Rena's
and
about to
people
tell
were
me
worried
that
the
she
project was
donated like
spiraling into the same.
Rena's about to like self-admit that she donated like a good smooth like 5K into this game.
Depths that many other Kickstarter games found themselves. Down, 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 until closure and no delivery of promised releases. This became incredibly clear with the update on February 7th, 2025 that promised impending release date for the Alpha 2. Almost all comments are bordering on overwhelming negativity. Accusations that the team has, quote, taken the money and ran, that they had been spending years marketing their plushies to the community, enriching themselves further without intending to deliver the game, seemingly leading them on to milk the plushie side of the business. And if you think that was bad, well, it only got worse from here. Despite promising increasing frequency of communication and updates from the team, they were just getting slower. Little did they know, this was going to be the last update before the curtain was lifted and the truth was revealed.
Okay. The collapse.
Hi again,
So what
pals.
happened?
The post began, but he continued.
Now I'm just more curious as to what happened now at this point. Because was it a scam or was it a game that actually came out? Like now I'm curious on if the game came out and it was just complete and utter dog shit, or if it just never did like actually fully release.
The same as almost every update for the last few years. More
I
delays,
didn't, but I was really tempted
no
to buy
dates
one of the
given,
plushies.
Just more images of a
okay.
game. Nobody
Well,
had
I guess to be fair, Rena, like they did give out plushies, so like I guess you wouldn't have gotten scammed. You know, you would have gotten a plushie.
played or seen meaningful updates to for an unreasonably long time. Does anybody here know of a way to file a legal complaint for fraud? People should raise this to their attorney generals and start a class action lawsuit against Puff Pals. Can I please have my refund? It's been 4 years and we only get screenshots. Lol. The comments were brutal, but there was still an illusion of hope. Right up until the next update, famously titled Project Update, arriving on May 21st, 2025. The Fluffness team exposed that they'd in fact been lying to the public, going all the way back to the beginning, showing the team on the Kickstarter page that all those years ago, stating they were developing the project in-house with their own employees working remotely across the globe. This was a lie. They had in fact outsourced to a studio from the very beginning. They allegedly paid the studio $1.1 million for the first year of development, with the rest going to taxes, the delivery of physical goods, and fees. They blamed this outsourced studio called Room 8 for the delays, but instead decided to continue working with them. They apparently took out small business loans to supplement development, but ultimately ran out of funds after finding, quote, significant accounting irregularities in their financial statements. So this is where things shift. The game was, for all intents and purposes, dead. The Fluffness team were exposed as liars. They were no longer going to be communicating with the public, and so began the public's investigation. And what they found was a totally different version.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I buy the Room 8 thing. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, we've been scamming you. Oops. I mean, like, I don't know if I'm buying the Room 8 thing, because you're self-admitting that you lied about the development team, but why would you lie about that, right? Why not just be truthful and honest from the beginning that you went to a development team to make a video game, right? Like, just be honest with your audience. Say that you're going, like, from the beginning, you should have been like, hey, we are working with a company called Room 8 to make this game a reality. And it's real, keep watching? Okay.
Of events that was happening behind the scenes for years. People discovered that Fluffnest was being sued. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 4.
What?
This company and the 2 main culprits who ran it, Lily and David, were involved in more lawsuits than the Puff Pals video games ever had version updates. One of the easier lawsuits to cover is that of a contractor who took Fluffness to small claims court because he was owed over $11,000 of unpaid invoices. His journey was well documented on the Puff Pals subreddit, where he described the absolute financial collapse of his life due to this project and these people. They signed off on his work. They didn't pay. They made excuses. They promised impending payment. They didn't pay. He then had to go through a journey, trials and tribulations of serving a lawsuit to individuals who were trying their very best to hide so that they couldn't be served. The Fluffness creators, David and Lily, were nowhere to be found. The curtains at their home were closed. The door was never answered. Eventually, a judge had to just grant the ability to proceed without serving the documents because it was impossible. And on his day in court, no one from Fluffness showed up to defend themselves. This meant the contractor was awarded the full amount, though it's unlikely it will ever be paid. While the public was trying to figure out what exactly had happened, Lily and David were trying to control the damage in the Fluffness Discord server. And this is where things started to become absolutely unhinged.
Hello. Call me fake one more time, I'll ban you, bitch!
It was in this server that publicly verifiable facts or legal allegations were brought up, and where Lily, sometimes along with David, would contradict the situation, or according to a later lawsuit, say things that would come back to bite them. Almost everything from here on has been or will be heard in a courtroom before the public finds out the exact truth. So going backwards a little in the story, to before the public were made aware of what many believe was the end of a scam, let's look at what Fluffness were claiming and what the later lawsuits now show instead. On February 27th, 2025, Fluffness wrote the following: "There are currently no outstanding legal issues that could disrupt Island Sky's development or release." They then go on to explain that the lawsuit people had discovered from Blade funding was due to a banking issue and had since been settled. That this was unrelated to the game's development.
Dude, we're gonna find out these guys tried to scam the fuck out of multiple people at once or something. These 2 people, massive scam artists. That's gotta be what it is, man. This
totally related only to the larger business entity that handled the plushies side of things. They then made claims that everything was fine, that they had taken steps to protect the game studio from the other ongoing legal or business disputes, that funding was, quote, never a concern. But we now know, looking back, that the reality was different. The only reason that they brought up Blade funding and the defaulted agreement was because merely days before the February 27th update, their community had discovered that lawsuit about failure to pay. And this is where they caught themselves in another lie. While attempting to salvage the company's reputation, potentially to continue making sales and operating the business of both plushies and the video game development, They were trying to claim transparency, addressing the concerns, talking about this lawsuit and how it was settled, how it wasn't a problem, just a simple banking error easily remedied. But already at this time, there were other companies that were owed money, and one of these had not been settled. The reason that this likely wasn't mentioned in this update is because the public didn't know about it yet. A company called Funding Futures LLC had also given David, Lily and Fluffnest money. This, however, was not alone, which made the situation look even worse in retrospect. Funding Futures gave them $130,500 as part of an MCA, a merchant cash advance. They were basically purchasing the future receivables of the company. They signed the agreement on the 3rd of May 2024, and the lawsuit later claims that just 17 days later on May 20th, they broke the agreement. There were apparently continued payments.
I'm so lost. Did they just basically get funding from other companies and then just run away with the money? So they... Okay. So let me get this straight. They go to Kickstarter to get like 2 mil from regular people. They go to different companies to get funding from these companies, and then they back out of the deal and think they're just gonna walk away with the money. Is that like is that what's going through their minds?
It's made after this stage, but eventually those payments stopped with just over $62,000 outstanding. So re-examining the February 27th update, the funding was clearly not secure, and while they didn't specifically lie about the one defaulted financial agreement with Blade Funding, since a settlement did exist, they did in fact stop paying them pretty soon after. Blade had extended them a $200,000 loan on March 29th, 2024, but less than 6 months later on August 19th, they simply stopped paying. After they filed a lawsuit that the public was then made aware of, they signed a settlement, but months later on May 5th, 2025, they stopped paying again. It was 16 days after this that Fluffnest made their final Kickstarter update we talked about earlier, where they left the end of the game ambiguous, that they were still moving ahead with development, this time as a solo developer in a completely new engine. On Discord, Lily could be seen defending David, claiming he's some kind of genius, that he has $5 million in the bank, that he could work at any big company he wanted, and has lots.
Yeah, he has $5 million in the bank because he's scamming a bunch of companies, dude. He's awesome. Maybe, wait a minute. Maybe this Lily and David guy aren't so bad after all.
Lots of connections, that he would be working towards getting the game released and refunding people when able. Between them, they claimed that the legal situation was still not concerning, despite 5 lawsuits against not only the company, but also against David and Lily personally, as they had guaranteed these agreements. David seems to consider that perhaps he's some kind of anime-level villain, and that posting in Discord about how he's managed to hide the money will prevent the court from finding it and awarding it to the parties that are owed.
Wait, part of the reason the game's funds are invulnerable is the entity controlling them is not public information? So they are doing like a let's get funding for the game and then hide the money, and they'll never know. Get funding for the game and never paid them back. Only paid them back a little bit and then never paid them back the rest. They'll never know.
And the fact that he's now given evidence against himself by saying this. He also directly contradicts Lily repeatedly when talking about the team size, as well as stating that they can, quote, fund production for a little less than 4 years. Realistically, the whole time that David and Lily were saying this, they were in hiding. Multiple companies were trying to find them. People were attempting to serve them legal papers. Companies were being handed default judgments for tens of thousands of dollars simply because David, Lily, and Fluffnest as an entity wouldn't show up to defend themselves or even respond to filings. On May 16th, 2025, Blade Funding LLC was awarded $98,065. On June 25th, 2025, Funding Futures was awarded $68,387. On July 21st, 2025, the contractor who sued them in small claims court was awarded $11,535. American Express are still chasing their alleged $50,000 or more credit card balance, likely gaining massive amounts of interest in the meantime, which brings the total owed to well over $200,000, much of it ordered by a judge. But even this pales in comparison to the next and the biggest lawsuit. Room 8, the studio that David blamed publicly for the game's slow delivery and that he never mentioned he'd even hired.
Holy shit, dude. Room 8 is... They made Alan Wake 2? How did I not know this? Room 8 made Alan Wake 2? And Dead Space? Apex? What do they have to do with Apex? What did they have to do with Apex, bro? What? I guess apparently they worked on Apex. What the fuck? I never realized Room 8 was this big of a company. Holy shit.
Let alone stopped paying, filed their own lawsuit on May 19th, 2025. The allegations were very serious. Breach of contract, fraud, and unjust enrichment. Not just that, but this whole lawsuit was a bombshell, answering a lot of the questions about the Puff Pals project that nobody even knew they needed to be asking. Room 8 alleges that they were engaged in services of creating Puff Pals starting in 2022. So basically right when this project was funded, when they got the $2.5 million, that's when they were engaged in services. Meaning the Kickstarter page showing a team was full of shit the whole time. And that there was never an internal studio working on delivering.
So they made the Kickstarter. So I think I was right here then. So they made the Kickstarter so they can get people to pay them $2 million. And then they went to all these other companies to fund their, quote unquote, fund their game. And they only paid a little bit off of it, with probably the $2 million. And then completely just dipped and stopped paying for it. They were just like, all right, we're not gonna pay for it no more. They dead ass thought that they could just pay for a little bit and then just stop, and then no one would notice or some shit. Like, what the fuck are we? These guys are so insane.
The lawsuit continues by stating they didn't even sign an agreement to begin development of the game until August 16th, where they agreed to be paid $2.2 million for the first year of development. 1 year later, on August 21st, 2023, both parties re-signed a substantially identical agreement stating that for another year of the studio to work on Puff Pals, they would be due a total of $3.4 million. From October 2023 until April 2024, David Pentland, CEO of Fluffness, signed off on every single monthly report from Room 8, agreeing to all the work that was completed, signing off on all invoices for said work. However, rarely sending any payment. The lawsuit then calls into question where exactly funding had gone, because they said in May of 2023, Fluffness claimed to have taken out a small business loan from Hanover Community Bank. That loan was given to David and the Fluffness company to continue work on the game. David never informed the outsourced studio of any problems with funding, and by January 2024, he owed that.
He didn't even use the $2 million that he got. He just took out loans. Holy shit, these guys are insane. These guys are actually insane. They got $2 million from their own Kickstarter that was never going to be a thing. And instead of just using the $2 million to slightly pay things off and then do it that way, they just took loans out. They didn't even use it, bro. These guys are fucking insane.
That studio, $1.9 million. The game was now at a total standstill as early as January 2024. Despite the studio being owed an incredibly substantial sum of money and David being completely unwilling to elaborate on the situation, the studio offered him a settlement. They would finish the game in exchange for a license to use it, for back-end revenue share, and the owed sum to be paid back from game revenue upon release using a repayment plan. This seems like an incredibly generous offer, one that David and whatever existed of the real Fluffness team didn't deserve. but one that would see everybody repaid and perhaps the game be released for the tens of thousands of awaiting fans that
That's
have funded
actually
the
kind of
development.
fair. That's so fair.
Unfortunately, the lawsuit then alleges that despite initial interest from David's side, he eventually claimed the SBA loan he took to continue financing the game, but didn't use to finance the game allegedly, would somehow prevent the settlement agreement. The lawsuit also alleges that at this time, David stopped even speaking to the bank who secured that loan and
Give me a second, chat. Give me a second. The wife just got home. What are the chances they blew it in a year? Dude, I bet you they did. I bet you they bought a bunch of unnecessary bullshit. Sorry, I had to go back a little bit.
Thousands of awaiting fans that had funded the development. Unfortunately, the lawsuit then alleges that despite initial interest from David's side, he eventually claimed the SBA loan he took to continue financing the game, but didn't use to finance the game allegedly, would somehow prevent the settlement agreement. The lawsuit also alleges that at this time, David stopped even speaking to the bank who secured that loan and continued to withhold documentation that Roommate requested. David, Lily, and Fluffnest...
Dude, this is the type of greed they talk about in the Bible, man. This is the type of greed they talk... Dude, they made him an offer that basically said, hey, no hard feelings. Just let us have the game. We'll publish it, and you won't have to owe us anything. You could walk away scot-free, and you'll be A-okay. And they didn't give a fuck. That's insane.
As an entity, continued to operate publicly, lying to their customers, using the game that had been developed but not paid for to solicit continued contributions and specifically to try and sell more plushies. The whole time, the public had no idea that Roommate even existed, that anything was even wrong, or that anybody except Fluffnest's advertised internal team was involved at all. The lawsuit claims that when pressed on this matter, David declared that he would continue to frustrate efforts to collect funds by moving money out of the Fluffnest entity and declaring bankruptcy. Despite this, by March of 2025, Roommate was still continuing to push for settlement terms, with David and Fluffnest agreeing to those terms, but then refusing to sign when handed the documents, instead stating that they would finish the game themselves and ignore the $1.9 million.
What blows my mind is this went from being a woman named Lily who was making pins and shit of cute Pokemon. Who the fuck is David? This David guy popped up out of butt-fuck nowhere and has now decided to run this shit into the ground. Who is this guy? What the fuck?
Dollars they owed the studio. Interestingly, you can look up what David was saying publicly in February of 2025, where he announced on Kickstarter that they would be moving development from Unity's game engine to Unreal Engine, which was weird. This is almost like looking at a house you'd built out of brick for the last 3 years and saying...
Literally admitting to thinking about committing bankruptcy fraud to fund the game. You're right, Marcus. Men ruin everything. Hell no! Hell no! Hell no! Lily had everything to do with this too. But to be fair, this David guy kind of stepped in and all of a sudden the game, not the game, but the whole entire Fluffnest shit went to shit. She literally was making pins and shit, and all of a sudden this David guy walks in, and now this shit is happening. What the fuck?
Okay, now I'm going to rip it all down and start again because I like the idea of building it with wood this time. It makes absolutely no sense to swap game engine when you are multiple years into development, which makes it look like he was trying to restart development completely because he didn't have rights to use the stuff he owed millions of dollars for to Roommate, and that he somehow thought he would manage to convince the public to give him more money for more years despite delivering absolutely nothing by this stage. What makes this even crazier is that despite the lawsuit from Roommate initially naming just Fluffnest the business entity, eventually they had to amend it to include David as a defendant because he was making public proclamations he would attempt to bankrupt the company purposefully to hide assets.
This David
which
guy's a
is
fucking
a pretty crazy
idiot.
thing to do in the public, especially when...
You know what? Rena's got a point. How come if Lily's in on this and she's doing it, how come she's the one not saying a fucking word and this David guy won't stop? He won't stop talking about it. He's like, yeah, well, I'm going to commit more fraud, you fuck. I'm just going to keep committing fraud. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm just going to keep doing it. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, this guy's in like immense trouble. He's like fucked. And he's just admitting to it. Like this, what is Lily doing in all this? She just sitting there? She's probably stressed the fuck out. That's probably what's happening.
So many people are suing you and you owe everybody combined millions of dollars. This lawsuit is still ongoing with an unfortunate trial date of 2027. And that's sort of where we are, where the story ends for now. The Puff Pals official Discord became a boneyard, with the community eventually migrating to their own server called Flopnest, which is originally where I was invited back in June of 2025 when the story was sent to me and people asked me to look into it. I unfortunately got sidetracked for the better part of a year, kind of like the Puff Pals developers, except without the alleged $5 million of stolen money. There is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for that community, since part of Roommate's lawsuit is they are asking for rights legally to the game, with hopes of recovering their sunk development cost by continuing to finish and then release Puff Pals. Though who knows what that will even look like. There is also a question.
Surprisingly enough, there is genuinely a chance this game gets released still. I mean, that's baffling to me. That's baffling to me. But I don't think it will. This David guy seems stern as fuck. Lily's the brains, David is the muscle. Who's the main mastermind behind all this, David or Lily? I couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It seems very obvious that once David stepped in, all of a sudden it turned into something else. I had to brat for you guys. I got the hiccups, bro. Fuck. God damn it. God, fuck.
Dude is throwing it back on the bomb.
No, we're throwing it back on the bomb. Hi, Abby. I mean, it's definitely got to be like a team effort type thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely got to be a team effort type thing. Like, they both had to have come up with this idea. They both have had to have come up with this idea of fraud, but I wonder if David's the one who mentioned it first. You know what I mean? I wonder if he's the one that kind of mentioned it first. That's what I think, because ever since he stepped into the spotlight here to... What? Just open Spotify. Why is it... Why did it not just... What? That's not the right one. What is this? But I mean, yeah, it's gotta be Lily the Brains, David the Bronze, because David was retarded, bro. What a fucking idiot. She's gonna do what? Okay. I mean, this one's not a bad. This one's kind of a tame Abby song. It's a fun one. This one's very like chill. Okay. This was made by a black woman.
Dude is throwing it back on the bomb.
Abby, thank you for the $2 so far. This was made by a black woman. Mmm.
I cut up the steak in pieces for you.
Thanks. Thanks for the steak. Dude, I'm getting ice cream and steak. Let's go. Hi, Cats. Hi, Koopla. Hi, Marcus. I read the Book of Latter-day Saints just as you directed me to. So were the discs, demo discs in the hat? I don't get it. Oh. Well, they were... Hi, Koopla. You see, the discs were... You got to understand something. Why isn't it opening it up on Spotify? What is happening? No, that's not the one that they want. Hi, Big Aaron. I'm getting all this food. Yummy.
Say you wanna party, come over to my house. There's no I like my body. No, you can
The disc. So the disc in the hat, they told me, or not me particularly. They showed Joseph Smith everything he needed to know. That's like the whole point. It's just you can't. Well, we can't see it because we're not like a deity. You know what I mean? Not everybody's here yet. We're missing Captain C. Encrypted. Usually they come in sometimes. Abby's in a new groove. Abby's out here in a new groove. Abby's finding their groove. Rena gave me a video to watch, and it was this woman who made like cute pins and stuffed animals. So then she decided to scam people out of $4 million over a video game. I'm a little worried to check that Romeo. I don't even think I can watch that, man. I might get my shit taken down. Anything anime related basically gets my shit raped. You know what, Abby? You got me listening to this music and actually bouncing up and down. You have me bouncing on it. You got me bouncing on it, Abby. You got me out here bouncing on it and shit. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, I never
Of
finished.
what will happen to David and Lily going forward, as they are on the hook for millions of dollars. A personal debt that will be almost impossible to escape. A completely deserved situation for people who lied from the very first minute of creating.
Good, we need some women represented. Kupla, don't say that. Don't say that. That's fucked up. Don't say that, man. The women, that's what the women want, man. That's what they want. Remember when Squish was bouncing on lyrics? Well, that was a dark time during my life, all right? I need to find some Angry Birds leggings for the movie premiere. I can't wait for Angry Birds 3.
A Kickstarter they had absolutely no business creating. They took years of building an objectively successful business that was allowing for them to live comfortably and decided that wasn't enough for them, that they wanted more, they needed more, they needed to push further. They then raised money they had no business raising for something they had no experience creating, capitalizing entirely on industry trends, over leveraging their position, ruining that legitimate business, and ultimately stealing millions of dollars from unsuspecting fans that trusted them. Whether or not businesses involved in this are ever made whole and money is repaid to them or they're allowed to develop the game in order to fulfill those obligations is a question that we don't have the answers to. But what we can say is that the people who sold this dream did so without any ability to deliver and ultimately deceived fans who funded that vision. Unfortunately, an incredibly common story that began on Kickstarter and ended in court. You can find many
On
other
a scale
similar
of 0
stories.
out of 10, how's your PC doing? Hey, you doing all right? He's doing all right. I give him like a 7.
My channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Nice. That was the wrong thing. I exited out of the wrong thing. Whatever. I don't even know if that other thing was important. All right, let's finish up this video right here. Our leaflet video.
And they say there's no problem here because there isn't a real child involved. Now, they could be lying, but they said this multiple times and were consistent. They said, all right, since I'm 13, I may be good for now anyway, Zam. I don't think it's good for adults to be hanging out with 13-year-olds doing this uo cunny shit and talking together about the cartoons they think are hot. Do you think that's fine? How many 13-year-olds do you chill with in a little chat room and discuss pictures you find sexy with? Wouldn't it be better if that wasn't happening? And a place wasn't set up for it to happen by welcoming children? But it's not just the arrangement of the server that causes problems when allowing children. Your mods are a problem too, and their issues range from lacking the capability to deal with the responsibility of running a server that allows children, for instance just brushing off someone acting the way Black was, while claiming to be 14 and then 15, but it goes all the way up to being concerning, like the mod Precure, whose address I just found. Just kidding, Precure says they like being in these videos and I thought I'd give them a startle. Did you enjoy that? One of the people I pointed out in my first video, who I'm glad to have the scalp of, they were banned, had claimed in the server to have sent a thigh picture to a minor who had been pursuing them. They said it was to try to calm them down, and they said it was clothed, but obviously, hell no, right click, ban. Someone says that.
What do you wait? What do you mean they sent them a thigh pic to calm them down? What do you mean? What does that mean? Like, hi Butters. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? What do you mean you sent? Who sent who a thigh pic? The adult sent a minor a thigh pic to calm them down from the situation? What the fuck does that mean? Wait, do thigh pics just solve every problem? Like, I'm so confused. What?
In your server, they're gone. You don't need to investigate it, beyond confirming that they were making those claims. Precure Hunter, the person who banned them, argued that the adult is the one getting groomed. I left out context. I wanted to see who would instinctively jump to immediately defend this. Say it's okay, say it's a joke. Not check themselves. Just, in their gut, they feel like this is fine and needs to be defended. Who is like that? The answer is Mama Oko.
Kind of feel like that's just another joke right now. I've observed the server myself because I've been in the
it's
server.
this fucking Mama Akko person. We got a fucking brownie over here. I
I've
should
been,
stop. I
just
gotta
sitting
stop.
in there for months at this point. I never look at it. Is that just feels like another joke, my man?
As I show more examples, Mama Akko becomes
Mama Akko is just a dude. That is a dude. That's a guy. Why is he dressed up like a fat-titted BBW black bitch? Why is that like his gimmick? That's clearly a dude.
increasingly certain that it's all a big joke, that the mod was saying this to troll me. They in fact have counter evidence that I suppose they're upset I didn't include. You see, they have evidence that the child was asking for it very aggressively. Someone asked Precure what they're trying to prove.
Oh my gosh. He's taking this at face value so hard. Oh my gosh. You know, chat, I'm autistic as fuck. And sometimes I can't tell when somebody's fucking with me, all right? It's happened more often than I would like to admit, all right? More often than I'd like to admit, okay? But I can tell right there that he is intentionally fucking with him. That's what he's doing.
Mama Akko had been told earlier by the chat that Precure said they were deliberately trolling for attention. He left that as a big if true, instead of simply doing a 2-second search in the server he says he's in. Precure did say they wanted to get my attention and wanted to be in the video, but those posts were like this. I guess they win in the end. Their extended discussions of grooming ethics are not part of that. But before I show you those, Leaflet herself went on to Mama Akko's stream to defend this mod and respond to the situation in general. Leaflet talks about the Discord server not being hers.
You had already told me it's not even your server. Was it started by you, or how does that work?
I can clear it up real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a server, like it's a fan server for the community. I don't get a vote in like moderation. I don't do any moderation on it.
Interesting. 12th of the 2nd, 2025. I don't personally get involved unless it's just an easy ban, says Leaflet. I don't normally involve myself in Discord.
Well, I mean, we pointed out earlier that it's the owner is this Asari person, which is apparently their mother, which I'm just learning about this Leaflet person today. To be honest with you, I knew nothing about Leaflet. All I knew was that they were a VTuber that was big on defending, Lolly, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's like their whole gimmick or whatever the fuck.
Discord since I don't run it, but if I catch you using slurs in a bad faith manner, I will personally send you to the Shadow Realm. 30th of the 6th, 2025. Don't post needlessly edgy jokes. It can get the server in trouble. Fair enough, I do the same with Twitch chat and stuff. So I'm going to have to time them out / remove them, says Leaflet.
Like, I don't actually
Well, is that
do
like
any enforcement
like
action.
what kind of moon is that though, Cats? Is that like is that waning? What is it again? Waning crescent? What kind of moon am I looking at here? Let's see. Moon phases. Give me a second here. Okay, so this would be... So we got... Waning Crescent is correct. I was right. Look at that, man. I was fucking right, dude. We got full, waxing gibbous, waning gibbous. Oh, I was wrong. It's a waxing crescent. It's not a waning crescent. Waning is the other direction. Katz's is a waxing crescent. Oh, that's devastating. I was so close. Croissant. I was close though. I was close. Gibbous.
At all.
If what I showed was the last time you were doing it, that's only been true for barely over half a year.
In fact, like the funny thing is when it comes to like there being younger people on the server, I said like just nuke all of them. Like I don't care, right? I don't care.
Watching how Leaflet and Mama Ak fell on their own sword defending Nuxtaku, I still to this day like listen. I knew it was going to happen, right? By the way, hello Mello. Hello. Welcome back. I knew it was going to happen. I knew Nux was going to get defenders. It was bound to happen. But after watching the video from Nick Andros, it is baffling to me how anyone can watch that video and be like, oh, wow, well, there's got to be a good explanation for this. The only thing you could possibly say in regards to Nux is that he's not the pedophile in the video. That's it. That's all you can say. He's not the pedophile. But that doesn't change the fact that he was astutely aware of the fact that there was a minor in the Discord server. And when the minor asked for a fucking porn part of the server, he was like, all right, buddy. Like, it's just like so confusing how these people can go on the defense because they can't come up with good reasonings or good defenses. So they're just going to end up fucking themselves. Brother, just save yourself. Save yourself and don't defend it, man. If Leaflet is like 40, how old is the mom? I'm going to be honest. Does the mom ever show up? Is the mom ever present in the videos? Or is this just like made up? I don't think the mom is ever present. I think it's just Leaflet. I don't know what the fuck the mom has to do with the videos, to be honest with you, because every video is just Leaflet. Leaflet refuses to watch the Nick Andros video on Nuxaku. Well, I mean, there you go. I mean, it goes to exactly. Exactly. They don't want to watch it. They don't actually want to like look into it at all. Leaflet mom must be in her 60s, possibly. If she's that old, I can't even. I'm trying to be rude here, but I can't even tell if Leaflet themselves is female or if they're like trans or whatever the fuck they are. But it's not like, okay, it's like I said, it's not like a situation where, like I said, where it's like, oh, you had a minor in your Discord server and you had some backlash for it, kick them out and never do it again type of thing. Okay. You know, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You get backlash for something pretty minute, just fix the problem, move on. Nux clearly did something like pretty egregious where it was a consistent problem where it's the first Discord server was a public one that was 16 plus, even though they, you know, discuss hentai and shit in the server. So obviously that didn't go well. Then he had to have his little secret one where you had to be a patron to get in. And then a fucking minor asked him to put a porn part and he's like, okay, I will. And then there's a literal dude that he's friends with who's like a self-admitted pedophile. There's like a massive difference. There's like a huge difference between like making a minute, you know, tiny little mistake where it's like, you know, hey, learning experience. This is why you don't have minors in your server because this is what happens. You know, you shouldn't have them in your server, right? And so a person kicks out the minor of their server and just makes it 18 plus and never again type of thing, right? This is like completely different. He literally put a fucking minor in a terrible situation where they were literally being groomed. They were being groomed. Like, bro. Rao got a strike on YouTube for watching the mom clean her gun. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean the mom clean her gun? The mom has shown herself before? Supposedly female until proven male. Still has that food shop's voice. Yeah, true. Always assume trans. Tell him, Marcus. I assume every woman has a penis. I don't know what you mean by that. Is there a video of her mom cleaning? Can I see that? Can I see that video? I want to see that.
Oh, I just don't care. Haha, let it happen. Turns out when Leaflet said it's the parents' fault, she was literally talking about her mother, the mod. This is bullshit. Grow a spine. You're happy to earn money off of it directly as you're a...
She blamed her mom! Just her hands. Rezi says that videos about guns are okay, but streaming it is a big no-no. Oh, okay. What's going on with Nux Taku is less like a drama and more like a scandal. she blamed the mom, dude. I can't. Why'd she blame the mom? That's so fucked up. She threw her mom under the bus. She literally said it's my mom's fault. It's my fucking mom's fault. It's not my fault. Blame my mom. What? You're like fucking 50, 60-year-old grandma? Dude.
Official Patreon server. You should also be happy to not let insane shit happen on it. Getting rid of it or actually ditching it is also an option.
I don't really have anything to do with like which channels get added, or anything like that. Really.
3 days ago, your mod Crazy claimed otherwise. I don't have any control, just the authority to demand a channel stays, and the ability at any time to revoke your blessing and association. The claim that you can only make suggestions when you do have the power to force them doesn't mean anything. Leaflet then confirms that her mom owns it.
But did you start it, or people are saying that your mom actually owns it?
The reason my mom owns it is in case that it's to protect from like a crazy mom. Okay, so
nothing to do with me, it's my mommy. Sorry.
No, that can't be right. That can't be right. Is that their content? We gotta see this. I need more of that. Do they have content of them just sucking on the binky and going like, is there more of that? No shot. They go baby mode? Is that like a real thing? Oh my god. What? I can't believe I'm just discovering this person, bro. How am I just discovering this person? All these conservative VTubers are giant man children who refuse to be responsible adults. I mean, yeah, YT Mod is brutal tonight. I'm approving all your chats that I can, though. Oh, dude, Fox, you're having to approve of the chats? That's crazy. What the hell? Add a binky to your avatar. Leaflet has been caught doing age play. God damn it, dude. It's almost too good to be true. Of course, all the fucking retards defending Nux are just sucking on their binkies, dude. Come on. It's just written so well. First, you have Tactical Templar who's defending it, and all you ever hear in his videos is him trying to like move around in his fucking chair because he's so fat, and all you hear in the background is him fat fingering his mouse, slamming it. Oh my god, Jesus. Jeez, I got a brap coming out. Is the automod breaking again? Yeah, but this time Fox is able to approve of them. And then you have fucking Tactical Templar who's like spam clicking his mouse, and it's like fucking, you can hear him like, it's not like a gentle click where it's kind of like, how do I do like this? You hear how it's like a light like click? I don't know if you guys can hear that. His is like a straight up like boom, 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 boom on the goddamn on the mouse. On the mouse. And then you have Leaflet who's over here sucking on her binky. Like, what the fuck? This is his crusade. This is Nux Taco's crusade.
I'll explain this. There's been a lot of drama in the Discord in the past. And it's to protect. It's so that if she, so my mom doesn't do anything either.
Dude is
like,
throwing
it
back
any,
on the
like,
bomb.
moderation or anything like that.
She doesn't do any
Make
moderation.
sure Fox gets this money.
How do I do that? Fox, do you want a video game or something? Leaflet claims to be a moral Christian VTuber. Well, I mean, obviously, obviously you're not, you know, a moral Christian VTuber when you're fucking sucking on a binky. Crying for your mommy. Make sure Fox gets this money. Thank you for the 5, Rena. I don't I guess I'll like buy Fox a game or something. How about that? I'll get Fox a video game of her choice. Any game of her choice.
What did your mother mean 10 days ago when she said, banned that guy? 4 days ago, when she responded to a mod ping that was just a meme?
It's only in case that way we can give the ownership to like a different person.
Yeah, my mom's the owner. She doesn't moderate except when she does, and she's only the owner so that she can make someone else an owner.
But in case there's like a crazy.
To be fair,
it's like an ultimate contingency.
To be fair,
of, like,
her mom's like probably in like a home. Her mom's probably like too old to function, you know. Give her mom some slack, all right? Give mama a leaflet, a little bit of slack, all right? She might not be fully functional, so you gotta cut her some slack.
Like if the mods go out of control, we can like retake everything and
Shower
give it to a
or
different
face
person.
wash? Why not both, man? I do my face washing in the shower, man. I take a shower, I clean my face, you know? Kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I can't say that anymore, by the way. You're not supposed to say that. It's bird. What is it? It's bird. I can't say words that are like anti-bird. It's like fucked up. I gotta find a new word for killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I gotta find like a new word to say for that.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. That's called being the owner of a Discord server. That's called having the final say. That's called being in charge. They chit-chat and Mama Akko says he'd just ban minors, you know, to avoid problems. Yes, that's my videos. Correct, that's the point. Leaflet explains her server's moderation culture.
I guess what I would say is the
Who's the
mod
bird
culture
rights
on our server
activist?
is to, we don't ban right away.
2 birds with
like
1
we have a very like our policy on banning stuff, and like, you know, you can maybe make the argument that
2
like this
birds with 1 scone. Feed birds with 1 scone. Oh, maybe something like that.
should be a case in which like the person just gets automatically banned. But we are hesitant to ban people.
Sorry, we? Anyway, no, not people. You're hesitant to ban kids. I watched your mods not exactly be hesitant.
Why would you say you're hesitant to ban people? That doesn't even make you look good. Oh, yummy. Good food. Why would you say something like that? That's like so retarded. By the way, chat, thank you for the poll. Thank you for picking. Larvitar will be our starter for the Unbound run. The Unbound run will be Larvitar. Thank you. Kids aren't people. What do you... I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess they're not really like human.
Hesitant to Holocaust a bunch of people they were suspicious of. You guys are hesitant about certain bans.
Why?
Because of well, it's because of reasons of
you should
people
not
getting
be afraid to
gated or,
ban.
like, censorship or anything like that. Like we kind of want people to be able to talk and be more comfortable.
I like to let people talk too, but what video was Mama Akko just watching before you hopped on? What was that about?
So that might be, maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. But
When it's someone who says they're a kid wilding out, certainly yes. Leaflet says again, you know, it's their culture.
There should be... I don't understand this idea of, like, you shouldn't be, like, okay. Killing 2 pigs with 1 bird. A little Angry Birds joke for Kupla. Yes! I love Angry Birds. Oh. Yes. Yes, eating steak while capulating. I am currently munching on some steak. That is true. I do love me a good Angry Birds reference. I hope Angry Birds 3 is the best Angry Birds. But no, what was I saying? Like, okay. I'm still the whole like banning people in a Discord should not be like people. I kind of understand the hesitance a little bit, but I don't. Like, for example, like I don't want to ban Chris out of the Discord server because, you know, he's a member of the community. He likes to join in and all that stuff. I don't want to kick him out. But I mean, if he ever posts something that he should not post, and I give him a warning and I say, if you do it again, I'm going to kick you out, I mean it. Like, you know, it should be a no policy, no, like, don't do shit like that, right? Like, I have rules. If you break it once, I'll give you a warning, but you break it again, you're gone. Like, it's just how it should go. I don't know. I don't understand this whole like censorship thing. If you break like a rule or you post something that's obviously not supposed to be posted, I don't know, you should probably kick people out. And then as the same thing goes for like minors as well, right? Like, if you're going to have a server where you're going to talk about like 18 plus stuff, then you should probably just, for the safety, just kick minors out of the server. There's no reason to have them there. The censorship thing is retarded. Who cares? Minors don't need to be talking about that stuff anyways. It's called 18 plus for a reason, right? If it's 18 plus conversations, then why is a minor talking about it, right? It's called 18 plus for a reason. Chris owns you, little bro. Hey! Chris pushes the limit too much, but you too nice. Chris isn't a bad guy. No, he's not a bad guy. He's fucking insane. He just posts retarded shit. It's because Leaflet gets money from her Discord server. That is true. Actually, you make a fair point, Mello. This is probably all because they make money off of it, and if they ban people out of the server, that means no money. So, very, very spineless in my opinion. Very spineless.
It's how it is. Mama Akko, for some indecipherable reason, finds this to be incredibly valuable information.
See, what's interesting about that is I feel like people would have found that out if they had maybe asked.
No, I know. I watched it happen. My videos about that. They do be hesitating. The people coming to the UK say it's just their culture too. They see about Nicandros' tweets for a while and yap about a bunch of other stuff. They do a whole bunch of Nuxtaku sweeping. It's actually crazy. And then they get on to mentioning my video. Leaflet decides to complain about a visual gag.
Which was like the thing about the I'm banning him because he's anti like pedo.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so like they showed that part of it first to like seed that in your mind and then showed the context after.
Well, wait. So let me get this straight. Did harmful opinions go into the server, or not harmful opinions, but a person that associates with harmful opinions go into the server and you banned him? I thought you had I thought you were hesitant on banning people because of, you know, you want this to be like, I'm assuming you want it to be, a safe place where people can talk about whatever the fuck they want. But why can't he be there? Why is this guy not allowed to be there? All of a sudden, this guy's not allowed to be in the server? That doesn't make any fucking sense. You're quick to and are willing to ban a random dude who's in your server just to check things out. Not doing anything evil or anything. He's just looking through what's available in your server. Simply because he associates with harmful opinions or whatever, or if it is just harmful opinions. But you're hesitant on banning any minors in the server where in the server you talk about 18 plus shit. I think it was Nick Andros. Okay, it was Nick Andros then. If it was Nick Andros, then I mean, again, I highly doubt Nick Andros is doing anything like evil in the server. I highly doubt he's harassing people and being like bad in the server. I highly doubt it. Can't groom equals ban. Yeah, sure. Let's see if I that's crazy, bro.
I loosened it for you.
That's crazy. That was actually really easy to open, and she just asked me to open that because she couldn't open it. That's rough.
It's called a joke, sweetie. Musk owns Twitter now. Comedy's legal again. If you show the context, it changes it. Yeah, I showed the context, dipshit. You've successfully explained the joke. If I hadn't, sure that would be a problem. But I love how that is treated like some kind of Israeli psyop, while Nuxtaku EPIing hundreds of thousands of kids is just, you know, whatever. It's me who's seeding things in people's minds. Leaflet then tries to argue that what Precure said was a joke.
Like that. There are a lot of them are like that. And it's kind of like, he's trying to make a point that if you're like, he's making a joke basically that if because he's like this and then he's also talking to them, he's probably projecting. So he probably is actually a PDF, right? Mm-hmm. And then that was the whole joke.
Unfortunately, Leaflet, Precure has already addressed this, and it was not a joke. 9, who was being silly and just showed the start of the gag, asked, "What did you mean by this?" The mod explains their whole statement. Basically, if he was super pro-ped or anti-ped,
I banned him because he's... Yeah, what?
9, who was being...
I banned him because he was staunchly an anti-pedo. Yes! See, this is what I meant when I was... This is what I mean. You say that you aren't big... You're not fond of banning. You aren't a big fan of banning. But you are quick to ban a person who is simply in your server to just look around. I highly doubt that the person is, like, harassing anybody or being, like, egregious. I highly doubt it. So you're literally just banning them because of personal bias, but which makes it look even worse. You're willing to ban somebody because you don't like them, yet you claim that the server is supposed to be an open space. But the problem is that you have minors in the server when you talk about 18 plus stuff, but you're quick to ban an adult for doing nothing, but not a minor in the 18 plus space. It's just, the oob is disgusting. Is it not good? That sucks. That's unfortunate. Really? Yeah. Yikes. Can't groom equals
just showed
ban.
the start of the gag, asked, "What did you mean by this?" The mod explains their whole statement. Basically, if he was super pro-ped or anti-ped, then I knew he had grooming on the mind and wouldn't make that mistake honestly. Presumably referring to sending the picture. If he had never mentioned lollies or anything like that and he was retarded, then it's plausible that he could have made that mistake. Precure justifies spending time to seriously think about this. The drama was basically a necro post, and the kid had already been banned ages ago, so it's not like it was time sensitive, and I just wanted to be thorough with my options. And one of the most obvious and basic things to do whenever you are in a he said, she said, oh my god, he said, she said scenario is to at least give each side the benefit of the doubt. I understand how many statements could be taken as just a joke, not seeing it in this one. This is the mod of a server that welcomes children, giving benefit of the doubt to someone who claimed they sent an image of themselves to a minor who was pursuing them sexually. Mama Akko further defends it by saying it's a shit post.
Harmful. Why do you have to act like me when I don't understand a joke? Bro, it's very obvious that this man is shit posting right now.
Leaflet elaborates and says that
Captain
Precure
C,
statements are old internet.
How does it make you feel that there's just some white dude, like, with a black woman avatar, and he's got, like, fucking huge tits, and he's probably just some, like, scrawny little white guy. He's just, like, some tiny little white boy living out his little, I'm not gonna, I gotta stop, bro. I can't. I'm just gonna listen to the video, man.
Humor.
Yeah, we just have a lot of like stupid humor. It's like kind of old internet people. Old internet folk, and we.
A little bit later, they talk about what they think me and people like me are.
Like these people are basically modern day journalists.
The VTuber is a white guy, dude. Well, someone said that. Someone said that this Mama Akko is a white guy. Which I'm gonna keep it real. They obviously don't sound like a woman. They very obviously sound like a man. And I'm gonna keep it real. They don't exactly sound like they're, black or anything. I mean, listen, I know that sounds like I know it sounds like I'm saying that, people sound a certain way, but they don't sound like a black woman. No, they do not.
Not really like that surprising.
Well, they definitely try to imply a lot of things and do a lot of these things to try and paint a narrative. And
I'm being quite direct.
That just doesn't sound like a black woman, nor does that sound like a black man, I guess, is my point. Is the Mama Akko the Just a Robot of VTubering? Like, that's just not what either a black woman or a black man, sounds like. It sounds like some scrawny white guy. You know that guy from Napoleon Dynamite? His brother? The one that, dates, he meets, a girl online, and it's, it's, this tall, it's, this tall black woman, and she starts, dressing him up all ghetto and shit. That's what I, picture on the other side of the... That's what I'm picturing on the other side. That's Chip. Yeah, Chip Queen. Is that her name? Was that her name? Can you demonstrate what a black woman is unlike? I can't do a black woman voice. I can't. That's just LaFonda. Yeah, LaFonda. Yeah, he meant LaFonda. That's what I picture on the other side of the screen is Chip.
I think that server is an inappropriate environment to welcome children into, and Leaflet's mods are inept. Maybe if you clear house and get better people to run the server, you could keep having kids in there. I wouldn't recommend it though. If you keep these people in charge though, you definitely need a policy of banning minors on site. I mean, even Precure thinks that's obvious. A little bit later, Leaflet and Mama Arco say,
how black women argue. What the hell? Why is it me?
How black women argue. I saw you like my man picture on Instagram. You just smacked my wig look better than yours.
Yeah, basically. That's what black women sound like. And that's not what I'm hearing in this.
Suggest I should have tried to interview everyone involved.
I just don't understand that. Like again, when I covered, I'll just like say my own shit. When I made the Cinder video, I didn't tell anybody this.
Aaron, how was the exam, man? Did you pass? Don't talk with your mouth full, it's rude. Okay. Okay. I won't do it. I wonder if Big Aaron is big passing.
Before I started working on the first Cinder video, I DM'd almost every single person involved and asked them if they wanted to talk about it. Nobody ever got back to me, sadly. But like, if I had the ability to say, hey, Shy Lily, can you answer questions about this? Or hey, Bao,
83 is
I
good
understand
though.
you heard about
83 is like good though. That's a good grade. That's a good B right there. I mean, that's good. Huge. Big Aaron passing his class. Big passing. Let's go. Big P. Big Aaron is Big P. Baron is texting. Baron is texting and driving, probably. It was a little disappointing because I forgot some notation. Yeah, but I mean, it's passing, you know? I mean, 83 is a good grade. That's a B right there. And in my opinion, I think B in college, that's solid, you know? I think that's solid.
about this, but can you talk about this? And if they had given me that opportunity, I would have done it. I would have done it.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad it would have made Cinder look. I would have done it because I wanted to get it right.
We're trying to find the truth, right?
That's my goal,
the
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Interview is indeed a tool one can use. My coverage is of what occurred in a Discord server and whether that's acceptable or not. Interviews in this case would be of no value to me and would have no bearing on what I observed. This is like a toddler's understanding of journalism. Not that I would consider what I'm doing to be journalism. If you're concerned about right to reply, the owner of the server I've commented on has access to a massive platform.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think any of these people have the capabilities of doing any level of journalism, right? Like, I don't think I'm great at journalism, right? And I'm just a melon dog talking about random drama on YouTube, man. These guys are dressing up as big-titted BBW black Amazonian women talking about how they want to fuck some underage hentai girl or some shit. I just don't know if they're capable of any form of journalism. Mama Akko is too much of a nobody to get big VTubers to interview him. I mean, why would you? It's just such a... It's like, okay, I'm gonna just keep it real. I mean this legitimately. The fucking being a big-titted black woman and not sounding like a big-titted black woman is probably it's probably a massive turnoff to a lot of people, of VTubers, because, like, You mean to tell me you're like some white guy behind the screen, you know, in your persona online is some octopus, you know, black lady like with tits? It's just like I don't think anyone wants to even come close to that, you know? Why would you want to touch that?
Presenting your response where my claims were made. If you want to actually discuss journalism, we can talk about something called doorstepping if you'd like. But I think you'd suddenly be against getting comment from involved parties. Leaflet makes an interesting claim.
The weird thing is really what they're advocating for, and I mean, you know, maybe it is the right idea at this point. They're kind of advocating for an actual like ID system for Discord, to be honest. Like where could it go but that, if that's what you want?
This is a bizarre statement. A key part of my coverage, and in fact, the ending of my second video, is advocacy against overly invasive measures. An explanation that negligence like this is what enables it to happen. If parents aren't looking after their kids, and other adults aren't willing to do the bare minimum, then where else can we go? There is an alternative. You could do the bare minimum. Leaflet and Mama Oko then do exactly what I said leads to government involvement and private corporations clawing at your data.
If you don't want to hold like parents as being responsible for it, then I mean, I don't know how you do it other than that.
Online safety legislation is the government holding parents responsible. It is the government saying it's the parents' job and they haven't done it, therefore we get to step in. Same principle for any attacks by private companies.
I mean, yeah, I mean, pulling the this is retarded. Pulling it's the parents' responsibility can only get you so far, because what does that even entail, right? Let's say the parent's not doing their fucking job. That just means that now you can hang out with children online. That's what does that mean? I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, yeah, if you think parents need to be better at making sure their kids are not doing God damn it, I don't want the hiccups again. I'm trying. Why do I keep getting the hiccups? This is actually insane. Okay. The whole entire point is that parents should be watching what their kids are doing online and making sure that they're not doing, like, you know, anything bad online or getting involved in anything bad online. Now, if the kid or the parent is not fully, you know, checking in, or the kid finds a way to get onto these things, that's where you step in, right? If you think that the parents should be doing stuff, then that insinuates that you think that they shouldn't even be in there in the fucking first place. But for some reason, you're making it out like as if, well, now that the parent didn't do their job, that means it's free reign. They could just be in whatever space they want to be in. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. Leaflet is part of a gaming podcast, so so she is a journalist, since you have to cover gaming news. I guess I'll give Leaflet that. Sure.
Well, holding parents responsible is definitely the option that I think a lot of people are like, oh, but why should the parents?
No, they should. They need to.
Yeah,
it is
they
wrong
should.
that they don't do that duty. But they don't do that duty. So, what do you do about that? The government's answer is, we do that job instead. When people point out that parents should be doing this and they don't, they never provide a way to fix that. A little bit after that, Leaflet elaborates.
But as a parent, you have the final control over everything that happens to your kid. And that's my point. When I said that, that was the point of my tweet. And it wasn't even really about the nuts thing. The tweet was actually completely, I wasn't even thinking about like that specific situation when I said that. It's just when I was thinking about all of the stuff that people were saying, it made me think like, man, we could solve all this if parents just actually took care of their kids.
You're on one.
Cool, Leaflet. How do you make that happen? If you do not provide an answer after saying that, your position is actually let it happen. If your position is that
that's what I
things are
just
happening,
said.
then parents should stop
That's
it,
literally
and
what
you
I
stop-
just fucking said. That's what I don't understand. So it's literally the argument doesn't make any sense, because you can't just come out with this idea that like, well, it's the parents' job, but since the parents didn't do anything, now it's free reign. The minor can be touched by anybody. Hey, this minor's up for grabs, everybody. This miner's up for grabs. Come get some. Like what? Like, like what does that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make any sense, dude. Yeah, they got past the first line of defense. Okay, well then you pull up the second. Like, what do you? What? All Leaflet had to do is not say a thing about Nux Taku. True, true. All these people had to do was just not even talk about Nux, actually.
Stop there. You are making an excuse. Also, I personally don't want to be surrounded by nonces, even if there aren't any kids around. I think that's a problem. How does parental supervision solve that? Leaflet then seethes about Nicandros for an extended period of time, and having complained that I didn't ask to talk to people, she complains that Nicandros asked to talk to her. Make it make sense. She then continues to seethe that people are asking her about the Nux stuff.
Because when I said that parents should be responsible, I never said solely responsible.
That's true of that one tweet, but she's been talking about this for quite a while. In her commentary on what happens to kids online and whose responsibility it is, and why restrictions are being put in place, she has in fact said,
Like, dude, this is all the fault of people not taking care of their kids. This is freaking ridiculous. If you fuck up your kids, it shouldn't be my problem.
They yap for a while, and Mama Oko says,
What we're asking for is for parents to do
be
more
my
than what
problem. It shouldn't be my problem if your parents don't do their job. What does that? So you're okay with the? So if in a scenario where a kid is getting groomed in your server, it's not your fault and it's not your problem, and you don't care because, well, their parents didn't stop them. God, this is rough. Look, they have a Freerin gif on their post. Leaflet loves Freerin. Oh my goodness. Maybe my wife and Leaflet can get along. Maybe they could be like best friends. She's moving the goalpost. God damn it, man. One of my fucking hairs was in my mouth, man.
We see that they are doing, because parents are just literally handing technology to a kid and saying, go wild.
And how would she make that happen? She never, ever suggests anything. I don't have an answer for that either. That's why I talk about what can be done instead. The government has an answer to this request too. It's legislation. These people love to complain about that happening while literally asking for it. Solve this. Solve this. This needs to be solved. They're doing it. Later, Leaflet talks about the people who are talking about her.
And see, this is my dilemma now, right? My dilemma is, do I do nothing so that they seethe, or do I farm them for content?
Allow me to present option C. Enact a policy of banning minors from your Discord on site, or get better mods.
I kind of feel like just not giving them what they want is probably better.
I want you to instruct your mods to ban minors on site, or get better mods. Why wouldn't you do that? To own me and people like me? Seems insane. But okay, if you wanted that to happen, you could make it happen.
Why would I argue with them? Why would I entertain any of their arguments? Why would I watch their thing when...
Because weird shit happens with kids in your Discord, and your mods don't deal with it properly until they're forced.
It's so clear what they want.
I want you to ban minors, or at least get better mods. I don't know how much clearer I can be. I thought it was pretty obvious from the last two videos. I'm not being presumptuous. This is a stream where Mama Oko just watched them. They talk about sitting down and having conversations with people, and Leaflet says...
Yeah, I mean, that's how you actually solve problems, right? Like, is it about solving our problems, solving our differences, or is it about getting, like, some kind of... I don't know.
Dude, you don't understand. Leaflet just wants to have like a civil conversation with you and just not ban the minors. They're blaming the kids. Well, yeah, I mean, Mello, you don't understand. It's the kids' fault. I mean, it's Leaflet's little safe space. Okay? Like, honestly, like, why is the kid there in the first place, man? Like, honestly. Leaflet will never talk to harmful opinions. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah. Yeah, Leaflet won't. Leaflet wouldn't do it because they're going to get like epically owned. Because they can't stand these opinions that they're voicing are just so like, again, the whole idea that like, oh, parents are at fault. It's like, yeah, True, but that doesn't mean you have to, it stops there. Like, you can prevent kids from being put in harm's way by just preventing them from being in 18 plus places. That's kind of how it works, you know? Like, it doesn't just stop at the parents. If they don't do their job, then just do your due diligence. Get them out of the server.
Community to pat you on the back.
It's actually about getting you to fix your shit, because someone told me about it and it's all f***ed up. If I've messed up and I've missed something like this happening on my stuff, I would want to know so I could break the legs of everyone involved. Metaphorically, of course. A little while after, Leafly expresses her sorrow at the
Be the
change in the
adult
kind
if the
of person
parents
she has to
aren't.
deal
Well,
with.
you saw earlier what Leaflet is. Sucking on the binky. That's Leaflet right there.
Because like a year ago, I was definitely a lot more willing to talk to people, and I was a lot more willing to like engage with, you know, these kind of bad faith people.
If I'm making these suggestions and pointing these things out in bad faith, it doesn't change whether my suggestions are good or not, does it? Why does she not want to make things better? In the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it. That does mean I win. And I'm doing this for Hassan Piker, so that means Hassan Piker wins. But why isn't it the right thing to do?
They're not trying to communicate. They're not trying to like have an honest conversation. They just want to hurt you for their benefit.
Yeah.
I want you to fucking ban kids or get better mods. If that hurts you, something's really wrong. You don't even have to say it's 18 plus. You just have to enforce it. When you say it's 18 plus, it can give the impression that certain things are allowed that aren't. And the little retards will out themselves thinking it's okay to, and then you just bop them. There you go. There's one way to do it.
See, that's the thing, is like your server is labeled 18 plus, yet the minors are in. That doesn't make. See, that's the part that doesn't make sense. It's like I said earlier. I get it if maybe they are doing their due diligence to try to make this server open for everybody and keeping it tame or whatever, and just not being allowed to post anything crazy or whatever. Sure, maybe that's like the end goal, right? Then you could chalk it up to just their heart was in the right place, but it's you know, maybe it's not being executed properly. But this is apparently a server that is considered 18 plus, but yet there's minors in the server, and it's apparently a difficult thing to ban the minors. Like, I feel like if you label your server 18 plus, and if a minor steps in, you just get rid of them. Like, it's labeled 18 plus, they're under 18, so just kick them out. I'm assuming that if it's 18 plus, you guys are probably talking about, you know, sexual topics, especially given the fact that Leaflet, I'm assuming, probably talks about anime and probably more sexual content surrounding anime, maybe like hentai or other things. I imagine the audience does the exact same. So yeah, probably not the space to be having minors in.
I guess moving forward here with the Discord, my only thing would just be to be like, listen, there's minors in there. You probably should just cheat them.
What the fuck?
It's not my server, so obviously, and it's not your server, I guess. So, you know, they can do whatever they want. But I would just suggest, to avoid future videos like this, just get rid of them.
That's what I said. Look at it. Your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids on site. I'm going insane. Yes, this is the whole point of what I'm saying.
What we're
It's funny. That's funny because if Mama Akko says it, it's not evil. But if Harmful Opinion says it, it's evil. If Harmful Opinion says it, it's because they're trying to end Leaflet. They're trying to kill Leaflet.
It's like something along the lines of, you either have to be on Patreon.
Patreon's a 13 plus site, and age gate is applied to 18 plus creators. But if you're not in that category, your solution is to get more money and still allow kids. It's 2026. Minors have debit cards.
Or you get like a really expensive channel point reward, and that like actually gets you access to the server.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that would be the play. Like,
That'll help with ban
Oh,
evasion.
Leaflet is
It
lying
won't
about
help you
who
with
owns the
kid
Discord
stuff.
server. Apparently the owner is their mom, but again, I've never seen, I from what I can check and see, I don't think their mom's really in their content, and if they are in the content, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the mom is the owner or not. You're related to her. So I think you kind of have authority over the if your mom is the owner of the Discord server, plain and simple, you have power. It's your fucking mom, dude. You have power over the server. There's no fucking shot you walk up to your mom, say you just get up out of bed, you go over to your mom's room, and you're just like, Mom, can you please ban the minors? in the server, please, Mom? And she just goes, no, I don't wanna. I want more minors in my server. No. Like, that's not, it's not happening. Like you have power. Like, I don't understand. You control this server, very obviously.
I don't know, but in the end, I'm gonna talk to Julio and Precure Hunter and Crazy, and probably just ask them what they want to do with it.
I know what Precure Hunter wants. Get rid of minors on site. I am genuinely losing it. They then have an extended discussion about stuff that won't really help that much with their problem, and Leaflet gives a life lesson about how people make mistakes.
People will make mistakes when it comes to things like, is that like a complete indictment of their character that like, oh yeah, they love pedophilia because they made a mistake on their Discord? Like, I don't really think that's even remotely fair.
I just want you to fix your shit.
No, I would agree. I think, unfortunately, these days people are just so apt to quickly making snap choices. And again, I think it would be solved if people did more talking instead of just more being ready to
Holy
poke and
fuck,
prod.
this is so soy.
Lynching, yes. Lynching, definitely.
He's not even doing that. I don't even think he called you a pedophile in this video once. He's literally just saying get rid of the minors in the server and the problem is solved. And then he moves on and he doesn't care. I'm like, this is so retarded, dude. Just get rid of him. I think Leaflet is using her mom's name, so if something bad happens, Leaflet can blame her mom. No, I mean, literally, that's what Leaflet did earlier. They literally said, it's my mom's fault. It's like, what the fuck do you mean it's your mom's fault? Like, how old is your mom? Like, does your mom even understand how Discord works? Like...
Yeah, I got that person who said they sent a minor thigh pics in your Discord lynched. That's sick. And
yeah, I saw the pacifier part.
Leaving it up to the mods.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to how they want to do it. Like, I'll ask them like what they want to do. Like, I can give suggestions, obviously, but
you can also lay down the law. You've done it before. When people were saying the word troons, you stepped in. I showed it earlier. Just do it again now. In my first video, I called you spineless. I stand by that.
Everybody's kind of flying by the seat of their pants. They're learning as they go.
Leaflet, as I showed earlier, your server originally banned minors. You went backwards. You do that and or deal with your mods. I'm just gonna say, nice. What I've seen going on in your stuff is insane. And we'll get back to that in a bit, actually.
And I think these people, they have no grace. They expect absolute perfection from everybody, and that's not realistic to how people are.
I don't personally consider expecting mods when they're alerted to get rid of someone who says they're a kid and talking about fertile femboys and breeding to be perfection. What the f are you trying to pull?
Maybe they'll grow up one day and learn
fertile.
Hey, you'll have a lot more grown-ups around
wait,
you
hold
if you
on.
ban kids.
I had to think about what he just said for a second.
Everybody, and that's not realistic to how people are.
I don't personally consider expecting mods when they're alerted to get rid of someone who says they're a kid and talking about fertile femboys and breeding to be perfection. What the f?
Fertile femboys and breeding? That's the kind of discussions they're having? Fertile femboys and breeding?
You trying to pull?
Okay. Awesome stuff.
Maybe they'll grow up one day and learn that.
Hey, you'll have a lot more grown-ups around you if you ban kids.
I'm used to being the least mature person in the room.
Believable. Hang on, maybe Leaflet does need to be destroyed. Anyway.
It's kind of
goo goo
such
gaga.
a weird shift to like everybody around me is being like a freaking child.
Yeah, because you welcome them to your Discord server, and your mods won't take appropriate action unless pressed. A little bit later, Mama Akko says something good.
Moving forward, if somebody says they're 15, I personally just wouldn't give them any quarter.
Yeah, good.
I mean, I feel I'm not perfect.
Sure, my first video was about this shit happening repeatedly with mods being pinged. I'm not perfect either. Maybe I fucked up somewhere. I want to know so I can fix it. But I've decided to be a public figure, small as I am. So if someone wants to point that out with a video, and especially if they want to point out because they've seen there's resistance to doing the right thing, and they want to force it, fair enough. First example I gave in my first video about an interaction I found unacceptable, I literally said, maybe mods didn't know about it, but it's still a problem because the server is set up to facilitate it. I don't think that's too crazy.
I would hope that if somebody sees somebody claiming to be a minor, they would ping me in my mod chat.
Great. And Mama Akko, from what I watched, was generally on board when I made suggestions along these lines. Ish. Mama Akko knows what's right. But he's a pussy. He wants to keep his bridges safe.
Yep.
He's going to be soft, even when he knows what's right.
I mean, that's all these people ever want to fucking do is just...
If someone...
They never... They're too afraid to... It's not that they're too afraid to burn the bridge. It's that if they say anything that goes against whatever the fuck someone says, it's burning the bridge. Like, if there's any pushback from this Mama Akko person against Leaflet, it's burning the bridge. You can't... The problem with these little communities, these people in particular, is you can't disagree with these people. Because if you... The instant you disagree with these people, it's immediate bridge burn. It's immediate, you are anti-us, it's over. Like, you just have nothing left.
Someone's gonna drop you.
You can't be friends with these people anymore. Which, in my opinion, good fucking riddance. I don't want to be friends with these types of people, right? I don't want to be friends with people who have no fucking spine, right? With Leaflet and Nux and whatever the fuck, Templar or whatever. Right? Hell, actually, you know what? I'll give Templar a benefit of the doubt. I actually think you could disagree with Templar, and he might actually keep the bridge together. At least Templar could do that. None of these people would do something like that, though. They're too afraid, because they know damn well that the bridge is gone if they start pushing back and saying, hey, I think you did a bad thing. Just fix it. It's called political team sports. Well, no, I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, this is all like these are all people who follow similar politics, so they have to defend each other because of politics or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me because who gives a shit, right? Somebody makes a mistake, you call them out on the mistake, and hopefully that call out helps them fix the mistake. Boom, end it. If they don't fix the mistake, then move on. Don't be friends with this person. Right? Especially when it comes to politics, it's so fucking goofy to me, right? You can be in a political space and denounce people in your own space who are doing bad things. It is so baffling to me how, like, we've made... I feel like it's become the culture to just defend anyone on your side at all cost. At all cost. It doesn't matter what they've done, it's like with Trump, right? I'm not a big politics guy, but I'll be honest. The Epstein file shit, right? If you're a big right-wing guy, wouldn't it be in your best interest to denounce Trump? To denounce the guy? Because he's like an actual degenerate. He's like a fucking pedophile. He's a freak. He's like a rapist. He's like a horrible human being. Why do you have to, you don't have to defend him. You don't have to do it. There's other Republicans in the world. Like, there's other ones out there, man. He's not the only one. There's others. It's just so weird. It's so weird how we've gotten into this weird space where we have to defend these people at all cost. You can't have your own, like, free thinking abilities. You can't just be like right or left and also not like Hassan or like, you know, Nux or whatever the fuck, or Asmongold or whoever the fuck. You don't have to like these people, but you can also be on that side. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because you don't just go, well, you know, it's not up to me, it's not up to you. Why do you want to be connected to that person?
Next talking
you talk about other people being clout goblins. Look in the mirror.
Politics.
Yeah, I'm fine with I'm fine with Operation Hazel Nutella and
to
just
be fair,
nuking all
safety
of the
of
minors
kids
officer.
has
I'm
always
totally
been a
fine with
fucking
that.
dumb
Personally.
talking
Then do
every
it.
political party.
You did it for trans people. You can do it for kids.
No, yeah.
But it's really up to, you know, again, it's up to what they want to do, how they want to handle it. They have their own ideas for how things should go.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Earth to Leaflet. Here's Precure. She then says,
And if I could tell them what to do, then it would actually be my Discord, right?
little problem there. We've seen you making decisions, and your mod Crazy 3 days ago claimed that you go above their head to make decisions. You are not as hands-off as you pretend
Operation
to be, and they
Hazel
then
Nutella.
wrap up. Now, there's been a lot of talk about getting rid of minors or not, and that distracts from another issue I alluded to earlier.
Like,
Precure's
okay,
suggestion
yeah,
to
I
ban
mean,
on site
sure.
for minors is good.
I'll take some
but
hazel-
if you
hazelnut
don't do that,
or hazel
Precure is a
Nutella.
problem. You say it's jokes. You say it's bait for me. I don't buy it. This person cannot be a mod in a server that welcomes kids. Let's talk about Precure's. Actually, it's about ethics and grooming. An adult got groomed by a minor because he was too retarded to listen to people when they told him to just block the minor, asks Norlax. Precure responds with a nodding gif. We have posts by the minor in this chat of them being sexually aggressive unprompted. They share a post by the person who said they were 14 and then 15. This is from the minor soliciting the adult. And that was less than a month since the minor had joined the server. Not seeing the joke, can you explain it? I think it's kinda weird as well, but the adult was pathetic enough and the minor pushy enough that it's not unbelievable. Prowls Madras steps in to say, I think the important things to notice here are minor and adult. Only one of those can really be at fault here. Minor can do wrong, of course, but just ban and move on then. The mod says, their ages aren't actually that different.
What? 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 What do you mean? No! No! Their ages aren't actually that different. What Oh my god. No. No. This guy's trying to go on the defense saying the adult didn't actually like do anything like bad or anything. It was honestly it was the kid that was involved. Like they were the ones like starting it. So it's like the kid's fault. Dude,
It's like 14 versus early 20s. Yeah, legally it would be the adult's
what?
fault.
It's like 14 versus early. Wait, that's a massive difference. What do you mean 14 and early 20s? We get this guy's a fucking pedophile. This guy's a fucking freak. What do you mean? Oh no, Captain C. Dude, he didn't get into one Ultra Ball, not one? That's actually fucked up. Are you able to go back? Are you able to, like, get him again? Or is it just gone forever? He literally has Hunter in his name. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Yeah, legally it would be the adult's fault. Oh my god. And then they're pulling the legally it would be adult's fault. Adult's fault. Ugh. Adult's fault. But morally they both seem to be at fault. No, I saved right before. Oh, okay. God damn. 40 minutes though is crazy, man. You're grinding, bro. Dude, I would flip my shit. I would be sitting here just like losing my mind if I couldn't get him after 40 minutes. I would shit myself. You've got patience, man. You've got patience.
No matter what.
How do you use
But
your time catching
morally,
Mewtwo?
They both seem to be
With
at
the
fault.
Ultra Ball, or did
Madras
you-
responds to the no matter
I mean,
what
obviously
message
you
and
didn't
says
use it
exactly.
faster.
You can do what you want, but I would suggest that you stop painting the minor as the aggressor here, even if it's true. Whew. The only one who can truly be at fault here is the adult.
Legally, it's the adult, but the kid is the one who's actually to blame. This guy's definitely a libertarian. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about, man. The pre-cure hunter, dude.
And that's that. It doesn't look good when you talk about the minor being the baddie. I can only speak for myself, though.
Oh,
Why can't
Suicune?
anyone have any conviction? It's sad. Pre-cure hunter says, I care more about the truth than the law. Prazel Madras
I
responds,
care more
can
about the
understand
truth than the law. That's a hard-ass bar. I care more about the truth than the law. I bet you he fucking, like, sat up when he said that. Grinned from ear to ear. Oh my goodness.
that. I'm just saying it doesn't look great. I understand that the minor must have been a creep and definitely did wrong, but putting any focus on the actions of the minor does not look great. That's all I'm saying. Later, my second video is uploaded, and Precure talks about the situation so far to someone who wants a quick rundown. Within that, they say that in my second video, I'm talking about their logic not being good enough because they said it's possible that the adult
Be
was
honest,
groomed
man, I
by
didn't
the
know you
teenager.
could even get the legendary
They say
beasts
they
in
banned
these games.
15th Watcher on the basis of a preponderance of evidence.
But yeah,
We should have
Suicune,
banned them because there is a message from them
that would
saying
be-
they sent a minor their thigh, clothed.
That would be the one you definitely want to get with the Master Ball if it's the hardest. Where can you find all of them in these games? Man, I really got to play through I got to play through Gen 1, but the remakes. I really got to play through them because I didn't know you could catch all of those Pokemon. I didn't even know you could catch I'm going to be honest, I didn't know you could catch Gen 3 Pokemon in it, to be brutally honest. Maybe I'm insane. Like I said, I never fully played through it. I only got to a certain point. Suicune's goated until like Gen 5. Yeah, he's not as back in the day, I mean, he was goated, but nowadays, Suicune's kind of a thing of the past.
As it was, because the miner was pursuing them. No need for weighting probabilities or legal jargon. You say that, you get whacked. Maybe it didn't.
Is it like...
So you're confused why there's Gen 3 Pokemon in a remake of Gen 1?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, you have to keep in mind, this was, I think it was the very first time we ever got like a remake of any Pokemon game. So this was like the first time they ever took like a game and redid it for a newer version, because first Pokemon on regular Game Boy, then Fire Red on Game Boy Advance and whatnot. So when you play Fire Red, there's like two distinct, not regions, more like areas. You'll go through like the original area and like the first region, whatever it was, I can't remember, the Johto region. You can go through that like it as normal in the original Fire Red and Leaf Green. But when you go off, you can go to like on this ferry and go like to this island type area where there's lots of little islands throughout, and that's all the third and second gen Pokemon are all in that region. Sort of like
in Fire Red and Leaf Green?
Yeah, like Fire Red, like I've been doing I finished like the main, I guess, gym run about a week ago. I've been doing the post game stuff because there's a lot of post game content in Fire Red, because Fire Red was sold as the original Pokemon Red, but with a second game in it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's the idea. So, and that was the point of like not the original game, but I mean, like when Fire Red first came out in early 2004, the idea was, well, this will be a source for you to get your Pokemon on the first gen Pokemon on the Game Boy Advance, because I don't remember if they had set up a system for getting Pokemon from the Game Boy and Game Boy Color into Game Boy Advance. I can't remember if we had that yet or not, because the carrying each Pokemon to the next game, I don't remember if we had that when it started or not. Did we have that in first gen? Do we have that in second gen? Could you take your Pokemon over in the second gen games? I don't remember. Really, I really don't. I remember Fire Red and Leaf Green being a big deal because it was a chance to get all the older generation Pokemon on like the Game Advance.
In Gen 2, you started in the Johto region and then you could go to the Kanto region, is usually how it worked.
Yeah, but like I'm trying, but you gotta remember, like I can't remember because this was like back on Game Boy, and I can't remember if when the second game came out, was there some way to move it from the very first iteration of Pokemon from one game to another? Because you'd have to have like a separate. You need two Game Boys, like from back then. And Game Boys were fucking expensive.
Are you talking about like how people transfer Pokemon from like the game to home and stuff so they can put it into...
Yeah, because I don't remember, because that's like a mainstay of the series now, but it wasn't like, can't remember if we had anything like that when like the games first came out. We might have, but it's so long ago I also can't remember. Like
I really think it's just Gen 1 and Gen 2. Like if you're talking just the really old versions, I don't know
because I have my Charizard from Black and White. I have a Charizard from Black and White that I still have in my Pokemon home. I've had them since like 2016 or something.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like a big mainstay now, but I don't remember when that started. But because my overall point is that in Fire Red, like you go through the regular Johto region just like the original game, and like nothing's really changed there. But you can go on to this second area of the game that's like you can just go a bunch of different like little islands that have all the new Pokemon, like the third and second gen Pokemon are all in that area. But you won't find them in the Johto area. You need to go to like the extra area for that.
Oh, okay.
So that's why some of the Pokemon I was telling you about, you may be surprised they were in there, but that's why they're there, is because the game itself Like, yeah, it is Gen 1, and you can really just focus on the Gen 1 aspect if you want to, but you have the option to get we have the National Pokedex in Fire Red and Leaf Green on. So the National Dex was a thing when it came out.
Okay.
I just can't remember how we did it back then, because I remember when the whole idea about taking your Pokemon from the last game to the next game. I remember when that happened, it was a huge deal. I remember it being a big deal. I just can't remember when it
Yeah,
happened,
I don't remember when that happened either.
because it's just a part of the system now. I don't remember when it started, if it was at the very start or if it started later. Irregardless, that was my point about Fire Red and Leaf Green 2 for you, Marcus, was that they're not home compatible yet, but think about it this way.
I
You
think
now have
it was either Gen 5 or Gen 4, I think, is when they introduced the idea of like you can transfer a Pokemon. Because I think it was during the DS era. I know that.
What
but
gen was X and Y? What gen were X and Y?
That was 6. I knew in Gen 6 that was a thing. I knew that in Gen 6.
Yeah, because I have Evital. I have Evital from Y still, like the one I caught in Pokemon Y. I have him still. So it had to have been at least Pokemon X and Y. What was the gen before that? Was Ruby Sapphire, right?
No, the gen before X and Y was Black and White, and Black and White 2. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was after X and Y.
It was Black and White. It was Black and White, because I have the dragon from the white one. That white dragon from it. I can't remember his name, but I have the white. Yeah, I have that. I have that guy. So it must have been from that one.
I'm pretty sure Gen 5 is when it was introduced. It might have been Gen 4 though. I could be wrong. Gen 6
maybe
introduced
Gen 5.
Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, because once they introduced Pokemon Bank, you could go back to a few of the older games that are on the DS and retroactively go back and get Pokemon and put them into the bank.
Typhlosion said someone made a custom thing to connect Gen 2 to 3.
Right, because there is no official support for something like that to get from Gen 2 to Gen 3.
Yeah, you would need some like custom shit to be able to
it must have been. I'm pretty sure you're right. It was XY is when it started, because I think that was actually when the features of X and Y was they were partnering it, that they were setting it up with that, so you could eventually take your Pokemon on to future games. The only reason why I'm bringing that up, Marcus, is because you have to keep in mind now too is that once Pokemon Home is made compatible with these with the new releases of Fire Red and Leaf Green, if nothing else, you now have a source for the original 150 Pokemon on modern hardware. Like, you don't need to go through any craziness to get any of the original gen Pokemon anymore. Now you can just go into Johto on your Switch and get them whenever you want.
True. That is true.
Because I'll tell you.
Well, wait, they had remember when you could play like the original like red, blue on the DS? You could do that on the DS, right? I feel like you'd be able to transfer then at that point.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if there was ever any way to transfer any Pokemon from Red and Blue and Green, like the original ones. I don't know, like, if they even are able to do that, because I don't know if they have like the internal workings to support like a software that does that. I really don't. But you probably someone did figure out a way to take a Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 2 on the old hardware like that. I just haven't heard of it myself.
Okay.
Man, it's too bad you can't experience Pokemon in 1998, man. It was so cool.
I mean, Pokemon in 2000, whatever the fuck, was cool too.
I know. I'm just saying there's a certain charm to it when you're playing with mittens on, because your hands are cold in the middle of the winter on recess.
Well,
good times.
Yeah, well.
But so did you pick up either of them, Leaf Green or Fire Red? Did you get either of them?
I haven't. That's just because I have a copy of them for my Game Boy, and I'm like sitting here wondering, like, should I not?
Well, personally, if you already I don't own them on any other platform. And frankly, I wanted it on the Switch because I know they're gonna I'll make it compatible with home eventually, and I just like having the option of getting a good source of the original Pokemon. Look, well, I grew up with with Gen 1, right? So I like to go back and collect all the Gen 1 Pokemon on the new stuff again.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because I'll be telling you, I'd be pissed off with these new Pokemon games when I go to check the roster and it's like a fifth of the actual roster. I'm like, you motherfuckers, every goddamn time these days.
They don't yeah, but to be fair, man, there's like 1,000 Pokemon. You really think you're gonna catch over 1,000 if they added everything?
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. I don't like their half-assery, and especially when they put it behind friggin' DLC debauchery. I mean, come on.
That's fair. That's fair. The
If you're going to
DLC
go
stuff
into
is
an
annoying.
if you're going to go into a new region, if I'm going to buy a new Pokemon game like Winds and Waves, if I'm going to a new region and like I'm going in there with a mindset, I'm expecting to have I would go into a new Pokemon game personally thinking like I'm expecting to see no Pokemon that I recognize, kind of thing. Because I'm going into a new region, that's just kind of what you mentally prepare yourself for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you put me in a new region and then you say, oh, by the way, you can get these other Pokemon that you know and love from 10 years ago, but give me $20 first. Like, no, fuck you. Either I'm paying you $90 for this game. Either give me the Pokemon, all of them, or give me just the ones that are relevant to the game. Like, don't hide my Charizard behind $20. That's just rude.
Because I was gonna say, I was like, it's kind of like Black and White was the first gen where you couldn't catch Pokemon from the older generations until you beat the game. So you had to try out the new Pokemon.
Yeah, see, I'm completely
that.
fine with that system. If you lock, like that's how Fire Red work. Like this island place, you get when you play it. If you ever do play Fire Red or Leaf Green, the island area I'm talking about, it opens up after the water gym. No, not Misty. It might have been Sabrina. It might have been after Sabrina. Whoever's in Vermilion City. Who's a gym leader for Vermilion? No, was there a gym in Vermilion? Either way, my point is that that's where those Pokemon from Gen 2 and 3 are. They're on those islands. You can't get the Gen 2 and 3 Pokemon in the Johto region of that game remaster that I'm talking about.
I mean, are you talking about Surge?
No, I can't. Wait, it might be Surge. It might be Surge. My point is that after you beat one of the gyms on the main quest line, some doodle random, I think it's Bill, comes and gets you and takes you to like an island to go and see one of his friends, and then that unlocks that region for you to go back to later. Like that's where Moltres is. He's on one of the islands out there.
Yeah.
Same with Lugia and Ho-Oh and Deoxys are out there too. Oh fuck! I haven't tried to get Deoxys yet.
I agree. I agree with the whole. Like, I don't mind.
I remember catching
game...
Deoxys and no wait, Marcus. I remember catching Deoxys in Emerald. Holy shit, that was so hard.
Well, it couldn't have been that hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, fucking thing is fast as shit. Even with Rayquaza in his primal state,
just save up your Master Ball for it.
Well, you can't just chuck the Master Ball right away. It takes the fun out of it.
No, I just chucked that shit right away, man. Easiest catch of my life.
Dude, where's the sport?
Wait, I'm not gonna put myself through the stress. I'm just gonna catch it.
Well, okay, but if you have a guaranteed catch, at least attack it a few times first.
What if I accidentally kill it?
Well, then take a Pokemon, won't kill it on the first hit. You don't just throw the ball off rip. There's like
that's what I do. If I got a Master Ball, I throw it. I throw the Master Ball.
Is there who do you use your Master Ball on most of the time?
To be honest with you, I'm not a person who completes the decks. So every time I play the games, I just use the Master Ball on the Legendary.
On the game's Legendary title Pokemon kind of thing.
But nowadays, in the last ones, I don't even think you need a Master Ball.
I wanted to ask you while I have you. When in your Pokemon the Pokemon game you like a lot, was it Pokemon Black, right?
Yeah, Black and White.
Is there how do you teach your Pokemon? Do they have Hey Gems in that?
They have Hey Gems.
They have HMs and TMs. Okay, I couldn't remember because I know at some point HMs disappeared. So
HMs
I couldn't,
disappeared in Sun and Moon.
right, because we got that Z move crystal thing.
And then
No.
instead they made it so, like, for example, like to surf on the water, you just get like a Lapras buddy or something. Or
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I couldn't remember if you knew how to build a team like that or not, because you know how to build a team that has
I mean, I just get an HM slave.
That's what I mean. You need. I was gonna say a HM Pokemon basically is you put all the HMs on to use, so you don't have to spread them out all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, when I play Gen
Because
4, I just get a Bidoof. Because Bidoof can
Oh.
learn Surf, Strength, Cut, and Rock Smash.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. The hidden machines are in there because I was gonna forewarn you, like, be really careful with who you teach what moves to, because at least in Gen 1, you couldn't just make a Pokemon forget a move just on the fly. You had to go to a person to do it.
That is because in Gen 5 you could do the move. What is it called?
Move tutor.
Yeah, the move tutor, which did I don't know if it was the move tutor or somebody else, but it did allow you to at least get. That's the only way you could get rid of the HM.
Yeah, it was going to the move tutor.
But
Well,
back
in
then
Gen
you could-
well
but that-
in
back
Gen
then you
1, the
couldn't.
move to no, in Gen 1 we have a move deleter, but we don't have a single move tutor. There's like there's move tutors all over the place, but they only teach you one move and they only teach it once. So whenever you encounter them,
So
you have to
gotta be kind of smart about it.
like you run into, let me think, there's Earthquake, Sword Dance, Mega Kick, Mega Punch. I think Rockfall is another.
Earthquake is
There's
a move that you can only get once.
No, you can get it from a tutor. A tutor can teach it to you. But there's one, it might not be Earthquake, I might be thinking about something. There's some TMs that you can get from a move tutor, like on a route, and there's some TMs you can just buy, but there's a few certain moves you can only get from a move tutor, and they'll only teach it to one Pokemon and only once. So like
Oh.
I'll just use the Mega Punch guy for an example. He's on the way to, I think, Pewter City, and he'll teach you when your Pokemon Mega Punch, but he'll only teach it to one, and you only teach it that one time.
Yeah.
So whenever you run into that, you gotta think, and if there's no one there you want to teach the move to, you just come back to them later, kind of thing.
Because
like I just ran into the guy that
is
teaches
when-
Sword Dance.
Gen 5 is the one where they
Because
got
at some
rid of
point,
the
all the move tutors are like put into one NPC at some point, where he can just teach any move to a Pokemon.
As long,
you
you
want.
just show him the Pokemon and he'll basically pull up his entire move pool as long as he learns
Yeah,
it or something.
no, I think that's the first time that happened, because in Gen 1, we don't even know what the move pool is. Like, and keep in mind, in Gen 1, there wasn't even a full distinction on what a special or a physical attack type
Well,
was. Like,
there wasn't one back then, right? I thought it was just
No,
purely
no.
attack.
no, there is special and physical attack in Gen 1. It's just that the game doesn't really properly tell you which attacks are reflective of what. It's up to you to kind of intuit it. So the way, I guess, when we were kids, we intuited it, well, if it's not something physical, then it must be special, i.e., Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, stuff that's more like an energy attack type of thing is more special. Whereas, Onyx with his Rock Slide or something, that's always, just raw attack strength. At least that's how we interpreted it when we were like 7. Because we didn't know what special attack or normal attack meant when we got the game, because it didn't really explain it to us.
Okay. Because, I was saying that in Gen 5, that's the generation where they stopped doing it, where TMs were like a one-time usage thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
as long as you got the
I can tell you
TM,
that
you can use it as many
that
times
TMs
as you
break
like.
in Gen 1?
Yeah, you can, like, in Gen 4, when I played Gen 4, you could only have, like, it had, like, a number next to how many TMs you had. You could only use it, like, the one time.
Yeah, like there's TMs that you can buy more of at various spots, but the TM itself, you're right, it's a one-time use. The only machines from those days that are not one-time use were the hidden machines. That's why they were
Yeah.
so super like special, because they couldn't be just forgotten to learn a new move, which is why you had to go back to the move tutor or deleter to get it removed and then get the move taught again. because there is a place you can go in Fire Red to learn moves that your Pokemon would have learned naturally through leveling, but you have to pay the guy in like mushrooms or something to do it.
Oh, okay.
Like you got to keep them. Yeah, like that's what I wanted to tell you too. Like I really want you to play either one of them because I really want you to play the Gen 1 game. I think you really should because you're such a big Pokemon fan. Just trying to warn you, like they didn't hold our hands in that day.
Oh, don't you worry, man. I'm gonna Nuzlocke it and win on the first try. It's not even gonna be. It's gonna be so easy.
Oh, really? So does that mean you're going to pick Charmander then because he's a fire type and your first gym is Rock?
Oh hell no. Charizard's the
Or are you
worst
going to
pick.
be? Or are you going to be a little bitch and
I'm
pick
pretty
Squirtle
sure.
or Bulbasaur?
I'm pretty sure the best pick is. I think
I think it's
Squirtle.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah. I think
No, it's Bulbasaur. No, it's Bulbasaur. The next gym after Rock is Misty.
Yeah, but you have to think about the rest of the gyms.
Well, no, we're talking. Well, I don't know. Okay, so you got Brock, easy win for either Bulbasaur or Squirtle. And then going to Misty, you want Bulbasaur because he's a grass. Misty's a water
Yeah,
gym
but
leader.
think about the late gyms. There's ground type gym is the last one, and then there's fire as well. His only weakness, but Squirtle's only weakness is Surge. And Surge and what the hell is her name? I forgot her name. Violet? What is her name? Viola? I can't remember her name.
Violet, Viola. Which one are you talking about?
Grass type gym leader.
The grass type gym leader. Oh, right, her.
I forgot her name, but those are his weaknesses. Bulbasaur's is. I mean, he can beat the ground type gym leader, but
Isn't green poison's neutral to ground type, isn't it?
is it? Maybe it is. Erica, there we go. Erica, that's the right name. Bulbasaur is the best because good grass types are lacking in that generation. Oh, that is true, actually.
That is true. The grass types in Gen 1 were shit. The only good one was Bulbasaur. The other ones were like
they had
Bellsprout and
Bellsprout, right?
Tanglia.
And by Fire Red, Leaf Green, you could get a Venusaur, right? But back then it was just a Weeping Bell, right?
I think, yeah, I know. I think aside from Bulbasaur, the highest grass type in Gen 1 was Victory Bell. We had Victory Bell in Gen 1.
What did I say? Ivysaur? Oh, yeah, Victory Bell. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, you can. Yeah, that's true. You can find great water types. There's plenty of fucking water types in the games in general.
Like water and fire types are in abundance, especially early game. So really grass is the one type Pokemon that you aren't going to find a very good one of that isn't a starter.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you I got lucky on my first time through and found a Pikachu in the forest before I even faced Misty? Holy shit, that was lucky.
To be fair, Executor is good. I do think Executor.
Oh, right. Yeah, but you're not going to get him for a while though. Executor isn't until past the 4th gym though. You're not going to find him until you get to the Safari Zone.
Gen 1's when Bug was completely fucking useless.
Yeah, the first Pokemon you most likely catch in Gen 1 is usually a Caterpie or a Rattata. Or a Pidgey. One of those three are usually always the first ones you catch. Is either going to be a Caterpie, Rattata, or a Pidgey. One of those three will be your first Pokemon encounter.
Well, to be fair, the first games there was no Dark type, so Psychic. What's her fucking name? I forgot her name. Was
Sabrina?
Sabrina was a pain in the ass because the only good Pokemon you could use against it is Bug, but Bugs were terrible.
No, we had Ghost types.
Yeah, but the only Ghost type back in the day was Ghastly and Haunter.
Oh yeah, just
and he's
bring
weak
6 of them.
Yeah, but they're weak to Psychic because of poison.
No, that would make them neutral to Psychic because they're a poison ghost.
Yeah, but Psychic is neutral to Ghost, so it makes it 2 times effective because of the poison typing.
Right, but Shadow Ball isn't Shadow Ball 4 times effective?
No, it's just 2 times. Because it's just Ghost just beats Psychic.
Doesn't Shadow Ball also leave paralysis? I think that was why it was such a big thing too. I can't remember.
There's
something else
then?
about.
I have no clue if it did back then.
I don't know. I know some of the moves and a few of the IVs might be slightly different for a few of the Gen Pokemon
that's
back
true.
then.
Gen 1 had Gyarados. You're right. Gen 1 had Gyarados.
Oh, of course. How could I forget Gyarados? he was the king of
You
water
gotta,
types aside
but you
from
gotta work
Blastoise.
for that thing, man. You gotta work for that thing.
No, I'll tell you a Pokemon you want to, if you need to work for, if you want them, you need to work for fucking Dragonite. Good luck
You
fucking
know who's
leveling that.
underrated?
What's that?
I did play through the I played when I did play through Red, Fire Red and Leaf Green. I didn't finish the game. But Electrode
you
was
will now.
low key. Electrode was low key like
Electrode
actually
is
kind of
pretty broken because I think he's one of the
he's
fastest in the
he's the
game.
fastest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
he's the
think he's either
fastest in
one
the
of or
game.
the fastest for speed. So you always like
And
shoot him out
Electric's
first.
weakness is only ground.
Plus, he knows levitate intrinsically. So
Does he?
Earthquake doesn't do any. It's either Voltorb or Electrode. One
No,
of
I'm pretty
them
sure the only
knows.
electric type that knows a levitate is Gen 5's.
No, it's lots of electric. I think Electrode and Magneton and Magnemite both have levitate intrinsic. Because Earthquake won't work on Electrode.
I don't think that's true.
I fought an Electrode today, and Earthquake didn't work on him.
There's no way.
It said doesn't affect Electrode.
Because the only
Well, Google. Well, you're at a computer. Google it.
Electrode. Because the only Pokemon that has no weakness is
I didn't say no weakness. I just said that.
Well, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have a levitate. He only has soundproof and static, and then aftermath.
There must be something else in there. I don't know. But there's a few of them that have levitate that Earthquake just will not work on them. I think also any naturally flying Pokemon doesn't, or maybe it's a naturally floating Pokemon because I'm not making this up because the Earthquake did not work.
He might have had. Did he have an item? I know there's items that can cause you to like.
I don't know. It was I can't remember. It was some trainer battle that was fighting an NPC. I don't remember the details of it. Maybe I might be just misremembering,
Just
quite
use
frankly.
either Snorlax or Gyarados for Sabrina. Lax tanks like crazy and can murk her whole team, and Gyarados just
Who said that about Snorlax?
Castro.
Gosh, right. That's what I did.
Yeah, Electros. Electros is the one that's electric with levitate. So he's the only Pokemon.
That's who I'm thinking of. Not
the
Electrode,
only-
Electros.
Yeah,
that
Electros
freaky
is
fucking
the
fish
the
snake.
freaky fish thing that it's the only Pokemon in the game that has no weakness.
Right. Yeah, it's an ugly motherfucker too.
I like Electros. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's just a weird circle mouth teeth thing. So it's creepy. But wait, hold on. There's one more thing. No, Dragonite is probably Pokemon takes the longest to get in Gen 1 because of how long it takes to level up the Dragonair to evolve into him.
That's why I would never get him.
But he is a tank for the Elite Four, though.
But hear me out. I don't wanna.
I can't argue with that. But that's basically why when I say some of the Pokemon I told you I've caught, that's why some of them are not from Gen 1. It's just because when they repackaged Fire Red and Leaf Green, they just added the National Dex to it. So to get to the National Dex, you need to go into like the extra area. But when you get it, if you do, you can just not and just play it and just play the Johto region.
I just gotta beat the game. That's what I gotta do.
Yeah, you really do. Oh, and remember, do not forget to heal a Pokemon if they have a status affliction after a battle. Because holy shit, will you regret that if you don't?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, if it's a Nuzlocke, because
Especially if they're poisoned.
They're gonna die.
Yes, if you're poisoned. Yeah. Because I don't know if like in how it was in Gen 5, but in Gen 1, if your Pokemon's still poisoned after a match and you're walking around, your screen will glitch like every couple of steps.
Yeah, Gen 5 is when they got rid of it. I believe. I think Gen 5's the gen when they got rid of the poison status doing damage over time.
All I can say is really, like, being as old as I am now, going back and playing this game, it really makes me wonder, like, how the fuck did I manage to figure all this shit out when I was fucking 9? Without the internet and shit. Just wandered around this game for hours looking for shit.
I mean, that's pretty. I feel like it's pretty normal to just like figure it out. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean,
notice
like this
it
was
and
back
you're
in
just
like
like,
98 or 99. I don't think my family even had a computer back then. All
was
like,
it Gen 6? Gen 6 might have been the Gen 5 probably did have the poison effect. I just don't remember it when I did my Gen 5 run having that.
no, I just remember trying to
Status
figure out
effect.
how to play this game in games like Zelda back in the day when we didn't have like access to an easy guide like on YouTube or something like that. Me and my friends on the weekends would get together to play Pokemon, and we would just wander around in our respective games for hours, calling out where we found stuff.
You just gotta.
My
I'm just gonna
my
beat.
God, that
I'm
was
just
fun.
gonna beat the Nuzlocke with my favorite Pokemons. I'm gonna beat it with a Butterfree, a full team of Butterfrees.
Okay, Butterfree goes hard the first couple of gyms. That sleep powder is clutch.
That's true. Sleep Powder is very nice.
Like you're gonna like I can't remember I don't remember the level difference being that extreme when you get to the gyms, but you can go. And another thing too, you don't exactly need to go in an order when you do the gyms. There is an order to it, but you can go in a slightly different order at certain points. My main point is that the Pokemon that you have when you go to face the gym leaders, effectively, it's like any other Pokemon game. They're gonna probably outlevel you by a fair amount, but you can outfox them and just play to the status conditions better.
Yeah.
Safeguard's a very good move to use in Gen 1. That's very good move to use.
I'm just more worried about playing against Koga because of minimize.
That's why you need to go with low power but guaranteed hit attacks.
Yeah.
Like Swift, Quick Attack, Wing Attack, stuff like that.
Because I remember fighting
Koga's
against
a
him one
Koga's a
time and I
Koga is a
literally
class.
couldn't.
Koga's a glass. Well, I mean, if you can get yourself. Oh wait, Poliwrath. I forgot Poliwrath. He's a good
His
water
final
type to get a hold
evolutions
of.
in that one?
Yeah, he's a Gen 1 Pokemon, Poliwrath. Not to mention the Eevee triplets are in this
Wrath was in
game
the
too.
first game? I thought it was just Poliwhirl.
Nope, he goes all the way up to Poliwrath in the first game.
Oh.
So you need to use the Water Stone on him. Like I showed you what I told you what my Hall of Fame team was for the first run through. Gotta say the best one I think that shone the most was Nidoking. His poison barb effect for any physical.
Nidoking's a good one to have in that generation. Ground types
Well,
are
because
very strong.
ground types in Gen 1 are actually probably the strongest type. I always cope and say it's fire, but objectively it's probably ground types.
Yeah, they're very, very powerful.
Because the ground types we had in Gen 1 were big fucking tanky motherfuckers.
Oh, Captain C. I do have to end stream here. My wife is needing me. No, it's her fault. She says don't blame me, but it is her.
Is she calling you to bed?
Yes. I didn't. To be fair, I didn't sleep last night. I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, why didn't you?
I couldn't fall asleep. Like I've been having sleep issues for the last few
Oh, poor Marcus.
Weeks, yeah.
Marcus can't catch a break. If it's on his tummy, it's his
for
sleeping.
saying slurs. All right, man.
All right. Well, good night, Marcus.
All right. Good night, Captain C.
Bye.
Bye. And chat, I am going to end stream. I'm going to send you guys over to Mrao. I think he's still streaming. So hopefully he's still streaming. So I'm going to send you guys over. This was a good stream. Hopefully my PC it stays normal and doesn't shit itself. And we can keep streaming normally. All right. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.